Hey!
Hey! Dealing us in like a set of cards. That was pretty cool.
You are darn tootin'. Well, what is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we are once again joined by Chris from Fatherly Fandom. How you doing there, Chris?
Hey guys, I'm doing peachy. Just pushing my way on through like Ezra tonight.
Oh, yeah. I don't need weapons.
Push it.
You know, at least he didn't have to get upset, you know. He didn't have to do the Jennifer Lawrence. What do you mean? What do you mean? Which was
just chillax.
Pretty darn hilarious.
You know, I think what he must have done is he probably took some life lessons from our good old pal Chillbot.
Chillbot. Yes, exactly. He took those lessons.
So obviously, as I'm sure all of you out there can tell, we are going to be talking about Ahsoka tonight. That's right, the amazing episode that aired last night. If you did not get a chance to check out the live stream watch party that was Fatherly Fandom and myself, it's amazing. You should check it out. It was uploaded on YouTube. Really good stuff. Also, not to mention all the rest of Fatherly Fandom's videos. But before we dive into all of that goodness, Keith, Dave, Chris, how are you doing?
You go first, Chris.
I already went, so
you already went.
I'm peachy still. I'm good. How are you guys?
Okay, I'm grand. I've been very busy this week. I haven't had the time. Usually I have time, like Admiral Thrawn. I usually have the time to watch the show twice before we can talk about it. Didn't happen today. I've been too busy.
Same. We talked about this before too.
Yeah, it's like a kick in the crotch when I can't watch it again. But let's just.
It's that bad?
Yeah, I don't know. With this show, it is, and because I want to see it again, and I will see it again.
I will see it again, or else.
I will watch the entire series again when it's over. So,
that's
how I am.
Given.
Keith, how are you?
Well, gentlemen, I am tremendous. Had a busy day, but I was able to sneak in another watch of this amazing episode. I got a lot of notes. I've seen a lot of people online saying this was a bad episode and filler, and I don't think they watched this episode. I don't think they really grasped what happened during this episode. But we can talk all about that later. Doug, how are you, sir?
Well, Keith, let me tell you, I am outstanding. I love being able to hang out with you guys. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the week. You know, Tuesday, obviously, Tano Tuesday, good times, but Wednesday with my fellow nerds. As Chris put it earlier, our tribe. Man, I love it. This is great. I love hanging out with you guys. I love chatting about all this great Star Wars stuff. And I don't know if you all noticed, but I got my hair cut today, and I think
I did notice.
Keith and Dave know what that means.
Bubble tea and
comics. You're darn right. I went to State of Comics today. Nice. Keith, they moved things around. It upset me.
What? Why would they do
They moved the whole place around.
How
I couldn't find my Darth Vader comics, and I was very upset.
Now, I don't know if you guys saw this. For the 10th anniversary of Rebels, they actually have some variant covers for Darth Vader. With one is like Ahsoka, one is Ezra, one is Hera. They got one with the
I did not see
Grand
those.
Inquisitor. I saw them on Twitter today. I didn't actually see the physical copies yet because I don't know if they're out yet, but they look sharp. They look really
nice. Okay, I'll have to keep my eyes peeled for those.
Nah.
Did you say nah?
I said nah. That's just just trying to be.
Yeah, they look awesome. These are really cool. They got a Grand Admiral Thrawn one too.
Oh yeah, they do. Dave, are you trying to be a curmudgeon this evening? What have we told you about curmudgeoning during? You curmudgeon on your own time, mister.
Yeah. I don't want to be negative, so no, I'm not going to curmudgeon. I'm just going to
no curmudgeon.
No curmudgeoning over here.
Okay.
It's kind of like the purgling, but a lot different.
The purgling.
Let the purgling begin.
Well, let's start with that. Did the Purgles just jump back into space, hyperspace, to get away from the mines.
I mean, that's what it looked like
Yeah,
to me.
wouldn't you? Like, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm out of here. I'm
Well, that's
glad
what they
you
put
did
it
it.
at.
See, do I want to stay here with these mines or do I want to
Yeah.
hurgle away?
It's like, I didn't
Once
sign up for
again,
this.
They made a grave mistake. They didn't listen to Hu Yang. He said they're providing cover, and then they took off. Why won't anyone listen to Hu Yang? Why?
Nobody listens to Hu Yang, you guys.
Everything
I
seems
don't
to work
understand
out
it.
even whether you listen to him or not.
Yeah, we wouldn't
Ahsoka
have a
seems to
show.
be doing just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely took some lessons from Chillbot. She's just doing her thing. She's just like, yeah, whatever.
I love
If
it.
we make it, we make it. If we
Me
don't,
too.
hey.
She
Yeah.
finished her training, and it's obvious that weight is off her shoulders. I mean, she's not as dark and brooding as she was earlier in the season. Now she's cracking jokes as they do, as they do their mission. It's like, what happened last time? He's like, well, you messed up the count. And he's like, well, yes, but I was sorry.
I think my favorite thing she did was when she was rabble rousing Hu Yang. She's like, well, you should have said something. And he's like,
He's
all
like,
flustered,
"I
like, oh, I did. She
Yeah,
just smirks.
that's
I
the
love their
Ahsoka.
banter.
Yeah, that's the Ahsoka I remember from the Clone Wars. And maybe that's what was missing for me anyway. NySith is now watching Ahsoka right now, so he can't be on the broadcast.
Oh, I see.
Oh, Paul,
But,
we miss you, man.
She was maybe he could join as soon when he's done.
Mhm.
But yeah, when she's just so lighthearted about everything. Like even when she landed there and saw those two together, and she just shows up, she does her her thing, but then she turns around, she's like, "Hey, how's it going, man?"
Mhm.
She's so relaxed now. I love it. And maybe that was what was missing in the character when I didn't like Rosario Dawson playing her at first, because I loved her in this episode.
Because she was so stoic and
Yeah.
Yes.
looked like the age had hit her. So
Yes.
I guess the best way then to describe it is maybe this was Dave Filoni playing the long game. Do you think like he knew this was the direction that he wanted to take the character, that he wanted her to have this whole Ahsoka the White finisher training thing, and that's why in Mandalorian season 2 he set her up that way?
Yep. 100%.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That sounds like some blue milk time.
That guy plans ahead. He's got his stories figured out, where he wants each character to go, and he just makes it happen. He's amazing.
Well, honestly, I don't know why anybody would bother doing that. I think Star Wars, you come up with it in the moment, man.
Yeah, that's all.
You don't plan it out. Who does that?
Somehow, good guy Palps returned.
Yes, he does, Keith. You wanna show off the
Speaking
awesome
of good
shirt?
guy Palps, while we're on the air, check
There
out
it
this
is.
amazing
I love it
fatherly
so much.
fandom
Oh
shirt.
man, I love that shirt.
God, Palps.
That's
Thank you,
great.
Keith.
That's
up,
good
Tessa?
stuff.
Appreciate your support.
What's that noise?
What noise?
You know how Molly has
Sounds like someone's talking.
It's Saturday.
Someone is talking.
Oh, that's Keith.
No, she's
That's
out
cute.
set up on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I want to go to the football game on Friday. But
Okay.
I think it's at like 7, and Mommy can't take me, so
I can take you.
okay, I'm going to.
Happy birthday.
It's fine. We can pick up Lily and take you both.
And then
Happy
Oh,
birthday.
he took his earplugs out, so he can't even hear us yelling.
Okay,
He doesn't
great.
know if everybody in the world can hear what they're
Keep me-
planning.
Bex, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Bex.
Happy
That was
birthday.
Tess.
Oh, happy
Well,
birthday, Tess.
We all heard everything she said, so
I know, I
so
forgot to mute.
the rest of
So
the
y'all-
world.
So y'all know she's going to the football game on Friday, and she's going to Hoco. That's
Yep.
homecoming
Hoco?
for you boomers.
So for
We're
all
all-
the kids
oh,
out
look,
there,
they shortened
just,
homecoming to
stop.
Hoco?
Just don't listen.
That's what the kids call it. It's still called
Oh.
homecoming, but they're like Hoco.
Okay, sure they are.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh my god, we're gonna
We're not
get
gonna
a
make
comment.
it, are we?
I shouldn't have said that. I should just accept it for what it is. Now we're gonna get a comment. Oh, you boomers.
Oh yeah.
But
all of
I
us
had a boomer
boomers
moment.
out there.
They're like the oldest looking guy seems the coolest and most, hip
He's
to
over there
that.
at Hoco. He's really fired. He's lit tonight.
He's
Yeah.
he's
No cap.
he's using that
Yeah.
youthful vernacular. Do kids
No
say that?
cap.
Do they say
No
do they say
cap.
vernacular?
No, they say Vern.
They say
No.
jargon.
They say Jar
Would
Jar.
you say I have fizz?
What is fizz?
Fizz.
Or
It's
Riz.
when you're good with Riz. Sorry,
Oh.
Chris
I was
knows.
gonna say that's something new.
Okay, Boomer.
I love it, Keith. Oh my god, that was perfect. Fizz.
man,
Ah!
Now it's going to be something. Fizz is the opposite of Riz. When you
Dr.
have no
Pibb.
Yeah, exactly.
Dr. Pibb, oh god, that's even worse.
We just came up
The
with a new slang,
reject.
guys. But I loved it on Ahsoka too, because like in the beginning of this episode, with the training montage with the hologram and everything, I love that scene. And knowing where she came from and her growth now, looking back at that scene too, it's like she's fully accepted Anakin for who he was. So she's able to watch these videos again and appreciate all the good that he actually did for her and not focus on the Vader dark side stuff. And she even comments like he was a great master in this episode. So it really did show a lot of growth. I thought that they set that up well. I'm all for getting more Hayden Christensen again, and I love seeing that.
So agree. That was the other thing that I noticed that people were complaining about online. For some reason, people had an issue with that. They said, okay, so we had this discussion last night during our watch party, Chris. We were talking about how there's a difference between, shoving in the little shoving in the Easter eggs and kind of like nudging you, like hey, did you see the thing I put there? Isn't that cool? Isn't that a cool reference? But then you've got like shows like this where it's got a purpose. And I felt that the Anakin training video thing, I think that was done well, and I think that was the right way to do it. That's
Is there
the
anything
right kind of fan service?
And it worked so well because she was practicing after losing to Balin, and she was doing the Anakin's teaching of, you're not always going to be facing droids. And I love the fact that he dropped Asajj Ventress, because I don't know if you guys know this little fact. Dave Filoni wanted to bring her back in Star Wars Resistance.
Really?
And then didn't. Things went a different way and he couldn't. But that was one of his plans.
Oh.
And I'm like, is he going to try to bring back Asajj Ventress in something post Ahsoka now? But I thought that was funny. They name dropped her to make sure she's still there. They said Dooku and Grievous also, but dropping that name and knowing that he wanted to bring her back previously, things that make me go,
And she's from Dathomir. She is technically a Night Sister herself too. And she died in the books, but those aren't technically canon. They can retcon that if they do want. Keith, you are dropping some good theories here.
He's dropping deuces.
Now, I had a question for Chris last night, and I was curious what you gentlemen thought about it as well. So when Ahsoka had mentioned Hu Yang, and she said this was the last video that he recorded, there were a bunch of these.
20 of them.
What's that?
20.
Yeah, 20 of them. Do you think that those were all of the recordings that Ezra used to watch on the Ghost?
I believe it was.
Because you remember, he was watching videos from Anakin.
Yep. And if you notice, when she put it away, the little the recording, there was a bunch others in that box.
She had them.
And so, oh man, I hope we get to see all of those trainings, either in a future season of Ahsoka or something else. More Hayden Christensen. You can't go wrong.
Please.
Can't go wrong.
Yes, please.
Is there any of these things fan services that they didn't do right, and I think they did on the show? I think they did it wrong on the show. You guys have any opinions on that?
Any fan service done wrong
service
yet?
that they did wrong?
Yeah. All right, I'll just say it. I thought the C-3PO thing was
I thought they handled that okay.
I liked it. I liked it, and I preferred it because I think the only alternative was creating a zombie CG Leia, and please, for the love of God, never do that.
No, but how did she even know that Hera went?
Didn't
because
Hera
they talked about
contact her at the end of like 2 episodes ago?
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
No, her name was used in a preview for the next episode.
No, it was in the show. It was a couple episodes back. She said Leia Organa was contacted Hera, so they were in contact. They were trying to reach out.
Yeah, they mentioned it back in like episode 2 or 3. They mentioned her that she was aware.
And I heard that. I was like, oh, Leia! That's why I remember it so much. I'm like, they name dropped her. So.
And the reason I disagree with both Dave and Bad Coyote Funky down there, who thought it was shoehorned in, they needed
Bad Coyote.
they needed to have, because we know Leia forms the resistance and breaks
Yeah, they
away
had to
from
set
the
that up.
Republic.
Mhm.
And without her being around, they had to do something. So bringing 3PO in to kind of put a wedge between Mon Mothma and Leia, because Mon Mothma knows the truth, I thought was a really good way to handle it. So
I think so
I can
too.
see why people think it's fan service, but it served a purpose, and it served a purpose not only in this story, but pushing things forward later that we know are going to happen.
And
so here's my other
the thing,
question.
guys, too.
Go ahead.
I have so a lot of people think that we are actually going to get an appearance from Leia in the finale, because they kind of set her up here, and they did it with Mando in the season finale of season 2 with Luke. So what do you guys think? Do you think they're going to go that route?
If
really
they
hope
do, they
so.
had better recast. That's all I have to say.
Her daughter.
That'd be
they
fine.
could do that.
She played she was the physical body of her in Rogue One, so that'd be fine. Do it.
Yeah, I mean,
I just like this one so much better. I want this to be the C-3PO mentions her, and we got her involvement. We know that she is now ahead of the defense council and everything. That's setting up the resistance. That's all we needed. We needed that little piece. We got a little bit of the Leia theme in there. I have enough.
That was nice.
So I don't know if I want to see her as a CGI or anything else in this. I love Carrie Fisher, and I don't know. I don't know if I'd like that.
I'm against
don't do her dirty.
Yeah. And while we're talking about it, when everyone's favorite senator, the guy from Resistance, I can't remember his name now. When he says
Zolo. Yeah.
Zolo.
Dingus.
Dingus. When he said from a mere droid, I thought for sure Chopper's kill count was going to go up.
I thought he was going to blow him away right there.
I'm like,
he's
murdered people,
that was awesome when Chopper did that.
Okay, guys, I got another theory, because he's the senator from Hosnian Prime. What if Chopper is the one to go to the First Order and everything, and Star Killer Base is all his idea to take out that guy because of the comment that he said in this episode. Theory right here. What do you think? Stretch? Reeling it in, Dave? What do we?
No, I think that sounds awesome.
Right?
Doug, you gonna hit the brakes?
Not at all. Nope. Throwing the cinder block on that gas.
Oh yeah, right. I think it's happening, guys.
Here's my
question. I can't wait. Okay.
Go ahead, Keith.
I was just gonna say I can't wait. Attack on shows that Chopper is accumulating a list. I cannot wait to see that list, because it's going to be longer than Nixon's enemy list. It's going to be huge, and he's just.
He's like Charlie Brown's teacher. But, all right, so my question is this with C-3PO being in this show, does that mean the droids have been in every franchise appearance, like either R2-D2 or C-3PO?
I don't think 3PO was in Rogue One.
R2-D2 was in the Mandalorian.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, you're right about that. He was in that, and he was in Book of Boba Fett. What about Andor? I don't think was Andor.
No, nothing from
No,
Andor.
I don't think either of them were in Andor.
Well, we'll see what happens in season 2 then.
You're right, Dave. They have a whole nother season, and they're going to be going to Yavin 4, so they will be around at that point. Because we saw them in Rogue One. I think you're onto something, Dave. They probably will show up.
That is crazy, right? That they've been in everything. They're the only two that have been in everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point, Dave.
But
now, one
Dave,
more thing I want to talk.
You didn't like it?
What's
The
that?
fact that he showed up?
No, I thought it was kind of cheesy, but that didn't ruin my enjoyment of the show. I still rated it higher than you did.
I just, yeah, you did, Dave. And I just loved hearing Anthony Daniels again. It brought back the feels for me. I know.
Do you think that was still him in the suit?
Probably not. I think they got somebody else to
He sure was leaning back a lot more than I normally.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Daniels, go ahead and put it on. We are not allowed to make a CGI C-3PO anymore. Oh God, I'm getting too old for this.
Please. I know, right? Please don't. But yeah, he was great in that. And Dave, I did think that was going to be too much for me or too nostalgia-y. But when I was sitting there watching, I'm like, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Like this makes me happy. Like I see no fault in it. So I just loved it.
I mean, as long as Hera's in the scene, I got no problems.
Yeah. All right.
Now,
It's the little things, or in this case, the big things.
Before we leave,
Here, right?
before we leave talking about the hearing, I almost said herring.
The red
Carson, yeah, the herring. Carson was talking at the court-martial about the events from the Mandalorian season 3 finale.
We got confirmation.
So we do know that this takes place after that.
I did know.
And I thought that was a huge little tidbit.
I know it was.
It was still a great video. Still a great video.
I was wrong. I can admit that. So I'm like, okay. And I realized that after Ahsoka became Ahsoka the White. I'm like, yep, this is after those scenes and everything, after Luke. So Carson Teva, you got us where we need to be in the timeline. Thank you.
So Ezra just thinks that they're there to get him. He still thinks that even after, because nobody explained anything to him.
Mm-hmm.
It's let's give her a hug. All right, let's get out of here, guys.
When I heard I heard Chris and Doug talking about it last night. The more times he said he's going home, the less I believe he is actually going to make it back to that galaxy. I'm like,
he says it a lot, an alarming amount of times, and it's like, this is not,
man,
this is not good.
So, is it too early to have a theory about Ezra for next episode?
Yeah, he did.
You think he's dead?
No, I don't think he's dead. I think he is going to stay behind to stop whatever it is calling out to Balin.
Again?
He is going to stop them, let everyone else escape, and he's going to stay behind to save the galaxy. And as soon as they're in hyperspace, Sabine is going to try to figure out a way to save him, putting our galaxy at risk yet once again.
Again? Just repeat the cycle.
How can I bring him back?
I think they might kill Ezra. Yeah, I think they might too. I don't know. I'm telling you, I keep getting these, detective show. Oh man, I'm only 3 days away from retirement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're getting a weird vibe.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's the opposite? What if, Sabine Wren ends up sacrificing herself for Ezra, and so he does get to go home, and they swap? And, maybe Sierra would like Sabine if she sacrifices herself to save everybody. Huh? Sierra? Are you out there?
She might like that.
Yeah.
Sierra is also watching the episode right now.
So, Attack on Show says, what would your thoughts be if they did a holo projector of Leia? Feel like that would hide the CGI a bit. I still would hate it. I still would not like it. I don't think it's right to try and bring these people back from the dead, no matter how you do it. I mean, here's where I think it was tasteful, even though she technically wasn't dead yet. Where it was done tastefully, I think, was Dave light the torch, grab the pitchfork in the last Jedi, when R2 shows the hologram of Leia, the message from episode 4, in order to work on Luke's emotions.
Cheap move.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, cheap move.
Yeah.
I think I'm with Doug.
The only thing that I'd find acceptable.
I don't think I would be on board with, if she passed. I'd rather, we may not even see Leia or hear about her again. We kind of know what happens, and they set it up. They, bringing 3PO in, as diversive as that is right now, we're finding out here. I liked it, and it set up what we know happens prior to the sequel trilogy. But I don't think I'd want to see them try to recreate her via hologram or anything else.
Yeah.
Same.
The only way I would like to see her come back is if we got like a Clone Wars animation style with Leia, Han, and Luke.
That could work, maybe.
Yeah, that would be acceptable to me because it's a cartoon. Every character is like that. So bringing her back for live action, no, I'm fine without it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that would be a little bit more acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And so, why didn't Ezra take his lightsaber back to save his friends from an overwhelming number of enemies? So Chris and I were discussing that last night, and I think there's actually a good reason. I think that he's fully accepted the role of a Jedi, but like he's gone like way off to like full on, like the whole Jedi saying where I do not fight, I defend. He has no need for weapons. He's the last Airbender of the Jedi.
Yeah, and we mentioned that too. Dave Filoni, worked on Last Airbender, and it very much gave me those vibes of Last Airbender. And if you saw like Yoda,
Oh, I was just going to say, and he didn't take it back. He might use it in the future, but he knew Sabine had a better chance in this fight if she used it. He's much more powerful, and he's been used to not fighting with it.
Yeah. He didn't have any trouble with Shin.
No,
he was doing fine.
And I loved like that force push he had when she was like bearing down with the lightsaber and it pushed back.
He is strong. I will give him that.
Yeah.
Oh, such a cool shot. Just like yes.
And going back to our earlier conversation about Leia, Fro Vibe says one can argue that the character is alive and well during this time frame, so using a hologram would be fine, in my opinion. Look, all opinions are valid. I get that the character is alive, but with the person not being alive, the actor that plays her, that's where I would have I don't want anybody hologramming me to life after I'm dead.
Yeah. I think that there's an ethical, maybe a moral issue.
Yeah, it feels icky to me.
Yeah.
Well, why is it okay to recast Luke?
Well, he's
because
he has Mark Hamill's blessing.
Yeah.
Well, no, she can't give her blessing. She can't give her blessing.
So.
Exactly. That's why you don't do it. But I am not like Doug. When I die, if you guys want to make holograms of me and show it everywhere, I'm cool with it.
I already make holograms of you, Keith. Got all these little videos.
I'm trying to think of the Spider-Man villain. That's what I was going to call you, but I couldn't remember his name.
What, Mysterio?
From Far From Home.
Mysterio?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Mysterio.
Thank you.
I love it.
Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
Now, you guys know how terrible my memory is.
Mm-hmm.
Did we already discuss the actual title itself of this episode, Dreams and Madness?
Dreams and Madness, yeah.
Because I have my thoughts on what it might mean, but I'm curious, what you, Keith and Dave, what you two think.
I think it's Balin's dream of ending, the constant back and forth. Mm-hmm. And the madness would be Thrawn returning to the galaxy.
Okay.
Oh,
I kind of like that.
I like that a lot.
That works.
I like that too, but I thought the dreams were a lot more than just Balin's dream. I thought it represented Ezra wanting to get back to his galaxy, Sabine being reunited, Ahsoka maybe bringing balance to the Force or something along those lines. I think she has a higher purpose now, and they all have their separate dreams. And I think the madness of it all is them believing in themselves too much when we know that there's someone who's 2 to 3 steps ahead of them.
Yeah. Oh, Thrawn.
Man, you guys have like way better ideas, better thoughts. I'm over here. I'm banging my fist on the wall. It's because Ezra's crazy.
Yeah.
I just love how, Thrawn's been gone for so long, but he hasn't lost a step. He's exactly like he was on Rebels.
Oh, and he once again is showing how much of a good tactician he is.
In this episode. I got shivers a couple of times.
And how clueless Morgan Elsbeth is when he's doing. It's like, okay, bring them back. She's like, what? No, we don't want to do that. And he's like,
no, we do.
They've already. What was the quote? I love the quote. Hold on. Oh, he goes, let me show you what I see. Ahsoka Tano has lost the one thing she could not afford to lose: time.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
That was so well executed. I mean, watching it the second time today, you see how his plan played out. He's like, oh, let her hide. And I love his line, too, where he goes, Jedi are very good at hiding. They have been doing it for years.
Yeah.
And he knew as soon as they started blasting away, she was running right to Sabine. and he was glad that he had let her loose, and she was no
Mhm.
longer near them. He knew exactly what she was going to do, and he knew while they were fighting with Balin and those, assets that he didn't care what happened to, they were packing up and they were getting out of Dodge. So
And-
everything went according to his plan.
Yeah, and he mentions that early on in the episode. He's like, let her make her choices, and let's funnel her on through so that she ends up where we need her to be. And that's exactly what happened.
And he explained himself. It's like he didn't have to explain himself to Morgan, but he did.
Like corner pocket.
Yeah, here's what I
Well,
see.
He wants to use it as a teaching moment to hopefully, because she keeps questioning him, and I think instead of if he was Vader, he would just force choke her to death, but instead he goes, "Listen, this is why I'm doing it, and I hope you understand." He's almost patronizing her a bit, hoping she learns her lesson that don't question my orders. I am beyond where you will ever be, and it's so great.
You just made me think of something there, Keith. What if, because the other thing we were commenting on last night is how much respect the great mothers give to Thrawn.
Oh yeah.
It seems abnormal, like a mix of respect but fear. Do you think he's been doing that the entire 10 years he's been there? Like, oh, that was an interesting thought, but this is the way we're actually going to do it.
You chose poorly.
Yeah, he probably played those great mothers like a fiddle, So, yeah.
It probably didn't start off that way.
Great mothers again.
It probably didn't start off that way, but I think over time they learned to trust what he's thinking, because whatever has happened in the past there.
Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe
maybe
Ahsoka
that could
will learn to
I
trust
did
him.
like Sabine's use of her flamethrower. I was waiting for her actual Mando comment to come out. It was
lightsaber
really
and
good.
the flamethrower.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so good. Because oh my gosh, you can tell whenever you watch her fight when she goes full Mando and you see her just like Din Djarin, like the fighting styles are like almost 1-to-1 because he pulls a lot of the same stunts, especially when he's in a bind.
Yeah.
And when she was facing the 3 stormtroopers, she just let some rockets go. Why waste time? But I do have one nitpick about that whole thing, and this is wrong. And you guys are probably going to yell at me, crack me with the whip, put me in the cage, whatever it is. However, I'm going to be punished for this. I wish she had her helmet.
No, I'm right there with you, Keith. I want that helmet back. It's
she should have.
Gotta.
Like, protect your head, dude.
That's part of her being a Mandalorian.
Shoot you in the face.
Yeah, agree.
She blocked a couple shots to her face.
But if you had a helmet, you wouldn't have to do that.
Shots,
Arms
okay?
free.
By the way, I moved you
cool
up a little bit, Keith, so you wouldn't be totally covered by comments.
Oh, that's fine. I always peek my eyes out when there's long comments.
Hi guys.
I think the people in the chat are like, let's do a long one so we don't have to see that Crypt Keeper in the Lord.
Guys, be nice in the comments. Keith is awesome.
That's me. Is that me?
And I love this episode, the contrast between the masters and apprentice. So we see Ahsoka come back to Sabine Wren, form that connection. They're back together. And now we're seeing Balin Skoll and Shin Hati departing ways, which I did not see that coming. I was like, you go off with the Empire. I'm going to go off and do my own thing. And we're parting ways. And he is not coming back to her. And she's lost now. Which is the opposite of Sabine Wren and Ahsoka.
I was like, why did she run away? She had a chance to join them and realize, she had a chance to stand there for a minute and go, all right, I don't have anything left. My master just left me, and I'm just going to follow the orders the rest of my life.
I do think when Ahsoka offered it, I think she took a moment and thought about it.
She did.
But I think Dave is absolutely right. She was like, she thinks she's too far gone. She doesn't realize that you're probably never too far gone. But with Balin, I think he was doing more mind games with her when he's like, you've shown your, true standing and what you want to do. Now go be a part of that Imperial machine or whatever he said. And I'm like,
that's kind of shots fired, especially from your master. That has to hurt, as an apprentice like that. Somebody who taught you everything has been there next to your side, just throwing you away in that way. And I agree. I think that there's Attack on Show says, I still feel like she will turn good. I agree with that too, and I think that Ahsoka knows that now, and what she learned with Anakin, especially in the world between worlds, and accepting people for the bad that they had and being able to get past that is something she's learned and she's going to use with Shin Hati. So there might be some redemption there too.
And I think some of the things that Balin said to her are pushing her in that direction, and I think he wants it because there was when he was telling her, just go join the Imperials. Very like that's your thing. I would never do that. That's bad. Making her feel bad about maybe her decisions, so she will take Ahsoka up later. Because earlier, I loved the scene when Ahsoka landed and Balin was there, and she's like disappointed. He's like, no. He goes, but I can't allow you to interfere. He was like kind of happy that she survived. Like she showed some initiative. He's thinking Ahsoka is someone I would like to see. After I burn this place to the ground, she's the right type of Jedi. She's the right type of person to be a Force wielder, and he has nothing but mad respect for her. And I love that whole scene.
He's playing the long game.
He wasn't even upset when she got away after the fight. He wasn't even upset.
No, not at all.
It's like, see you later. Have a good one.
Yep.
No, but I think he lives for the fight too. Like I think he really enjoys it.
And after she escaped, which I thought was great. Because she even said, I don't have time. That look that he gave, like respect, she got away, but also knowing she's probably going to be a problem again for whatever his plan is. She's going to get in the way somehow, and he knows it. But he still respects her and knows, man, this Jedi, this Force user is pretty good.
So Thrawn clearly has no idea what Balin is up to.
None.
Yeah, he's the loose thread in all of this, throughout this whole thing.
I heard him mention it a couple of times. It seems we've lost Lord Balin.
Yeah, he made note of that. Yeah, he talked about that quite a bit. He can't
we're
figure
one
him out.
Mercenary short.
Yeah, you know what he's doing?
Elizabeth.
He's doing his research on Balin now in case he shows up.
Yeah, he's the variable in all this, and I think that ultimately he's going to be the difference in whatever happens in this story to get our heroes where they need to go.
Yeah.
And Cajun, you're right. He does seem like he's tired of it all, and that's why he wants to go back to the beginning and start all over.
Yeah. That's
he wants
the
to Thanos
fan base too. Oh,
you know,
are they talking about us? Are we Balin Skull?
Yeah. I like Bad Coyote's funky comment too when he was confused, because I honestly thought if it was going to be Aboleth that was calling out to him, that he was going to offer up Shin as a vessel for her. And now that she's gone, now that they kind of sent her away, I was like, okay, well, there goes that theory. So what is it now that he's really hearing and being called to?
Anybody's guess at this point.
So I made a comment to Chris last night, and I thought this was just a bit of a dick move. Just my opinion. Balin is supposed to be Shin Hati's master, right? Wouldn't the right and proper thing to have been to do prior to him taking off to do whatever the hell it is that he's doing on that planet? Wouldn't it have been to be like, I'm getting ready to leave you. You're now an official knight. Let me cut off that Padawan braid. Go do your thing.
You are part of the council, but we don't grant you the rank of master.
Right,
yeah, exactly.
You can be a knight.
It's the Anakin thing all over again. Only lower,
he left her in Padawan status. Like,
that's even worse.
Crappy.
Right?
Now, the reason I think he behaved that way and is acting that way is because he doesn't think it matters, because he is going to start from the beginning.
Yep.
So he's going to take all of this down, restart it, hit the reset button, whatever he's going to do. So he was just like, go join the Imperials. It doesn't matter anyway, because this is all going to change when I get to this power.
He did say that. He was more or less implying like, if you want to go join with them, that's fine. I don't really care. Yeah, he did seem pretty nonchalant about that. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But basically, whether you're here or not, I'm going to do my thing.
Yeah.
Attack on show. Maybe the backstory is she's always annoying. He kept telling her to cut that damn braid off.
She just did that herself. Like he didn't require her to grow a pet.
You haven't taken the trials yet.
Yeah. You were raised in the Jedi Temple.
You didn't take the new trials.
What do you think you got an orange lightsaber or something?
Yeah, right?
Look, Master, I made a braid. We're not Jedi. We don't do that. Why do you
like,
keep doing this?
I raised you to be more than that. You're
Slices it
disappointing me.
off.
I'm not
Sorry.
mad.
Stop
I'm
calling-
disappointed.
Call me youngling, Daddy. I'm not
Whoa,
calling you that.
whoa.
Will you please stop?
No,
Don't
Oh,
right
sorry.
there.
Sorry, family
I'm out.
show. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't call me Daddy.
God.
I got somewhere to be, guys. So I'll see you later. It was nice talking to you.
Oh. Yeah. Younglings, that's still a sore subject. Too soon.
Mm. Stop calling yourself a Padawan.
Now,
And
I have a thought, and I know that I brought this up a while back, but to answer, somebody had asked a moment ago, who was that? I think it was Attack on Show. Oh yeah, okay. So Attack on Show said maybe the backstory is she's always annoying. I think we are going to get more of a backstory between Shin Hati
so.
and Balin. And I would love to see it in those not Star Wars Visions, the other one, the one where they did Ahsoka and Dooku.
Tales of the Jedi.
Oh,
Tales of the Jedi. I bet you any money we're going to get another Tales of the Jedi, and that will fill us in. Because look, it was done really well. It's good animation, and it really is good at tying into backstories.
Yeah,
it just sucks they can't pursue it in in
live action.
Ray Stevenson.
Yeah,
that is, yes, it is a shame they can't do that. But I mean, they obviously they were able to recreate the Dooku scenes without Dooku himself.
So all the things that I want to see in the finale, the one thing I want to see is Balin Skull's character come to a fulfilling conclusion. It would suck to be able to see him go on and then not get anything else, because the great Ray Stevenson, who gave the most amazing performance this season of Ahsoka, cannot reprise the role again. I would be heartbroken if that's the situation.
So Attack on Show says, I still feel this is all tied to the son, the brother, and that power is what Balin is after.
Could be, and if he takes a higher role and separating himself from everything else, getting to the Mortis ethereal realm or world between worlds type of situation, taking over that role, that's a definite possibility. Attack on Show.
And I do think this is my theory for the finale next week.
Okay.
I think it's all going to be focused on Balin's little side quest. I think what's going to happen is the final episode is going to be him figuring out what this is or coming to front with it. And the heroes who are now gathered together, not knowing they've already lost because Thrawn's about to jet out of the galaxy, are going to have to work together and maybe even with Shin, because we don't know where she went. She didn't jump in one of the airships. She's riding her howler. So she may even come back and help, put a stop to this. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to see Thrawn jumping back to the original galaxy, old galaxy. I don't know what to call it.
No doubt.
And that's going to be it for Thrawn in this series, because this is my theory. And this is going to be a little crazy. Dave, get your fishing pole ready. Doug, get your feet above the brakes.
Okay.
All right. It's in the water.
I think Thrawn's going to blast off. They're going to deal with Balin's side quest.
Gross.
And then at the end of this series, at the end of this episode, we are going to find out, much like we did with the Book of Boba Fett at the end of Mandalorian Season 2 with the post-credit scene, that we are going to get a Hera-led Rangers of the New Republic, which is going to deal with Thrawn coming back to the galaxy and starting to put together the remnants, the Imperial remnants under his control. And then we won't get the heroes back from this galaxy till maybe either the movie or Ahsoka Season 2.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pulling that in.
Yep, pumping the brakes.
Hey, come
Chris
on.
just set off his detonator.
I saw the detonator. Blew that.
Sorry. It's not like it's crazy. It's not like it's crazy.
That is one of your more normal theories.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. That's all.
Look at how well it turned out when we got that post-credit scene of the Book of Boba Fett and how great that show was. Don't we want that again?
No, that show was so good. Oh my God.
It's always great to go off on a little side
Hopefully he
quest
doesn't
and
blast
just
off
ignore all the
soon.
amazing stuff.
Right. Those 3 episodes were amazing for the Book of Boba Fett.
yeah. Book of Boba Fett only had 3 episodes, right?
Right.
Attack on Shore. Are we making a Team Rocket joke? He's blasting off again.
See, I'm not alone. All right.
Bad Cody Funky. Unfortunately, I don't think Balin or the show will have a satisfying finale because the suits in charge want another season, or for this to lead into the movie Filoni's going to helm. I do think it is going to get another season. I think it'd be a little silly to waste such potential.
Yeah.
Because this show overall has been getting a lot of good reviews. There is there's a very loud minority of people who are, screaming with their fists shaking. I don't like this because I saw a zipper or some BS that whatever they're making up now. One of the articles I read today, and I kid you not, I literally read this and I was just like, I got to tell the guys. Hera's pants were too orange.
Oh my, what?
They were too orange. It was too.
Well, obviously they didn't watch Rebels.
Well, that was apparently their problem. They're like, it looked like Rebels. It's a cartoon, and this is live action. Don't make it so orange.
Oh my god! Talk about nitpicking.
Bad good. They were too orange. I agree. Okay. No, all right.
This is a science fantasy show. You just gotta accept some things, and come along for the ride. I'm sorry.
I thought the orange was wonderful.
I thought it would. Yeah, me too.
and I'm no one to tell anyone that their opinions are wrong, but when you're nitpicking a science fantasy show like this for zippers and colors and things like that, man, just stop watching. Yeah. Go find something else. Go watch NCIS or something. Go watch Law and Order.
Very upsetting to me.
Yeah.
And for the people who didn't like the show because it's led by the top 3 characters are women. And
I don't even think of that.
I don't either. But when somebody brings it to my attention, it's so annoying. I'm like, that's the natural progression for these characters.
Right? Exactly. It fits the story. It's not like they just wedge these characters in to fit because they were female or something.
It's not like Rey Skywalker.
No, not at all. It's the total opposite of that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I do feel like we are going to get a fulfilling finale for this show because Dave Filoni is killing it. And everything else, the studio execs in charge of this, the suits that are up there, whatever they have told him, he has been able to pull it off so far with this series. And I have no reason not to trust Dave Filoni will pull this off. He's proven us time and time again in the past.
Yep.
And I'm going into this thinking that, I'm going to have a fulfilling finale, and I'm pretty sure we will.
The finale is not directed by Filoni. It is Rick.
No,
can't say his last name.
Fumogata, I think.
Did he write it though?
Yes, he did not. Dave Filoni wrote it, and Rick is directing.
Filoni wrote it.
Well, that's what I meant. Did Filoni write it? Yeah, that's fine.
Rick's done a bunch of stellar episodes for The Mandalorian. I think he did one for Book of Boba Fett too. So he's a veteran when it comes to Star Wars television. So we're in good hands when it comes to his direction.
And I kind of Bad Coyote Funky had a comment a little while ago where he was talking about he feels like it's the suits pushing this story to have second seasons in a movie. I don't necessarily think that's true. I do know that suits are a major problem with movies and building universes and stuff. Right. But it's okay if the writer, and I do think Filoni has this bigger story to tell that was more than just this one season. And I think he wanted to do multiple seasons and maybe do the movie to kind of have the time to tell the story the way he wanted it to.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Now, you can tell when the suits get involved. You get stuff like the Book of Boba Fett where they got Mandalorian episodes in the middle of it. You get Mando season 3 when you start to get a little Rangers of the New Republic stuff kind of be squozed in there when they shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
You can tell when and this series to me does not feel like there's any suit interference. And it's okay if the story hasn't had a complete closure when it ends. Look at The Empire Strikes Back. We knew we were getting another movie. There was more story to tell based on the writing and not the studio or anyone telling them there needs to be.
Yeah. And there's good evidence towards that, Keith, because Filoni has talked about his writing and how he writes these characters before, and he purposely says, I leave it open in the story to develop more stories as it goes. He doesn't like to close off a lot of characters. He likes to keep them open so he can use them later on. It's like you were taking toys out, we're playing with them, we put them back, we play with them again a little bit later on. That's what Filoni does. So we will see some sort of story going forward throughout. Even I think after he makes his movie, I think there's going to be room for more story as well, because that's just how he writes. So good point.
Yeah, just
Keith.
imagine if he had killed off Thrawn in Rebels. What would we be doing now?
Oh,
you know,
gosh, yeah, right. So
that would have been a bad move.
Yeah, bad move. He's a brilliant tactician, just like Thrawn. Thank you, Dave.
Yes. By the way, I want to.
That Doug got here, and if it's not on that, Keith, if you want to make that last point, I'll stop.
While we're talking about Filoni, did you guys see the clip of him talking at Star Wars Celebration a few years ago? Someone asked him where Ezra was. They said, "Where's Ezra?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, Ezra's out there.
Far away.
Far away." Which is obviously the name of the episode where we saw Ezra. He is dropping hints years in advance.
Yep.
I was like, "Oh my god,
he's got a plan." I love it.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
Doug, if you can put that quote back up from Attack on Show.
Yeah.
I was going to ask. I would just.
I do like looking at her pants. Robbie, I can't disagree with you there. Can't disagree.
Maul will be in the finale. I really sincerely hope not. I hope we're done with Maul. His story arc is over. We don't need to pull him up again. It was a perfect story arc through all the Filoni written items, even Solo.
Attack on Show. I thought those pictures were.
That was a fan
fake.
film. Yeah, that was a fan film.
Okay, yeah, I thought so because they kind of cropped up and everyone was like, "Holy shit!" I mean, "Holy shoot!" Maul's showing up in Ahsoka, but then they were revealed to not be, really part of the Ahsoka, filming process.
And if you look at the shot, she's not wearing white. She's not going to go back to her old getup as
true.
Well, so.
Yeah, that's very true. Now, here's what I would like to see them do if they were going to shoehorn Maul into the finale, and which there's not enough time. There's not enough time for this. No. But what I would like to eventually see, maybe in like season 2 or something like that, I wouldn't mind them bringing back who was the young lady who played young Ahsoka? Played Baby Gamora.
Ariana Green Green something.
I would love to see her come back and Ray Park come back, and I'd love to see not Ray Park.
Ray Parker Jr.
No.
Ray Parker Jr.
Ray
Sam Whitmer.
Yeah.
No, who was the live action? It was Ray Park, yeah.
It was Ray Park. Okay, that's what I thought.
It was Ray Park.
Anyway, I'd love to see them come back and just recreate the construction zone fight scene, just because, okay, somebody had made a comment, and I absolutely loved this because it hadn't occurred to me. Like, what?
You said you absolutely loved it.
Oh, sorry.
I missed that too.
Almost all missed it.
So
we're off our game tonight, guys.
They had a comment stating that, it's hard to tell in the animated series just how young Ahsoka was. And she took down a full-on Sith Lord adult Maul like it was nothing. I would love to see them recreate that in live action, just a snippet of it. Doesn't even need to be the whole thing, but make it like a little flashback, or have her, show it as like a recording, like, training Sabine, and do it like repeat the line that Anakin said, "You won't always be fighting, machines. You might be fighting a person." And here's an example.
Yeah, give me anything from the Clone Wars live action with Ariana Greenblatt is the actress's name. She did a phenomenal job.
Thank you for that.
Great job with that. So I'd love
if they do it though, I hope they just don't recreate Clone Wars episodes. I hope it's new stories that maybe fill something in. Yeah. Because honestly, that whole Siege of Mandalore, the whole Siege of Mandalore arc on that last season of Rebels was just dang near perfection.
Yeah,
I want to see it in theaters. Lucasfilm, make that happen.
Make it happen,
please. Seriously, and they can charge good money for that. And us as fans,
I'd watch
I think most of us would go and see it. Why aren't they doing that? This is a big business opportunity for them to do. Ooh, I love the new graphic with
Thank
Jon
you.
Favreau and Dave Filoni. I love
that's
that.
going on
That's
a shirt, by the way.
With the toys. That is so cool. That's great.
Hey, by the way,
get
Keith,
that. Woo.
You said make it happen. That's the name.
You and the captain make it happen.
Of Mary Elizabeth Winstead's second movie. So were you
nice.
doing that? Were you doing that on purpose?
I was not, but now I'm going to say it a lot more.
Yeah, good job, Keith.
Yay! Ooh, I like that idea, Bad Coyote Funky. I would love some Old Republic live
Old
action.
Republic, give it to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're gonna get
man,
a taste of
that'd
that
be
with
great.
the Alkalite, so it's
It depends on who's writing it. For me,
yeah.
You know what?
Agreed.
Bring back what's his name? Who wrote Andor? Really make it gritty.
Tony Gilroy.
Oh,
Tony
yeah.
Gilroy.
Oh, wouldn't that be good?
See, but I don't know because he's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. Love his writing, love Andor, but his style is more the grounded. If we're going to the Old Republic, I want to see Jedi and Sith just mass battles, and I don't think that's his writing style.
You would have to have that. That's when they're at their fullest too, and that's what's really cool too. Is like we don't explore this in what we have right now, but the Jedi had people in there that weren't as force sensitive, like Sabine Wren, and they had auxiliary people in the Jedi Order that would fight with the Wars. Same thing with the Sith as well. So it wasn't just force sensitive people. So you had all these different variations of force sensitive folks fighting each other on these massive scales that we have not seen in Star Wars. And yeah, you need somebody good in there, Keith, to do all that, and it would be epic.
We can rent a theater and watch it. Attack on Show says, well, we'd have to fly in, Chris.
Let's do it. Yeah. Come on, guys. Let's do that. You guys are making enough with your monetization now, right? So
of course, yeah.
The big bucks.
Wait.
Got the big bucks.
Hold on. Let me check our YouTube studio.
All right.
Can you fly something cheaper than Spirit?
I gave you guys like $5 last week on the stream, so isn't that enough?
After YouTube's cut, we got about 35 cents.
You'll have to fly like Scott
I'm
Lang
kidding.
does. You're gonna have to fly like Scott Lang.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I can do that.
Spirit.
Come on, Anthony. Let's go.
I like this too because I also played both Knights of the Old Republic games. I didn't play much of the MMO, the Old Republic. Just kids were born at that time, and I didn't have the time to sit and play it. But getting away from the Skywalker saga, all new characters, because you know what, I do love seeing like C-3PO and seeing these things.
Yeah.
But there might get a point where we're sick of seeing them, and we do want new characters. Yes, and going to the Old Republic where everything has to be new, thousands of years, that would be fantastic.
Take my money. Take it all. Love to see that.
Oh, and I have seen the cinematics in the Old Republic game, and they are fantastic. Heck, they dropped a trailer for one of their DLC packs. And I was like watching it like, holy cow, I really need to play this game. They did such a great trailer because I was like, I'm downloading this game right now. I will stop sleeping for a week to play this.
Video games nowadays, they have such cinematic quality videos just in the games themselves. So, yeah, it's beautiful. Props off to the creators of those.
Did BioWare make?
They cannot make a game that Keith won't fall off a cliff.
Try as they might.
Now, hold up. I have a solution for that, and I was going to let him know. Did we already discuss that they are remaking Persona 3?
Yes, we have talked about that.
There are no cliffs in that game.
Yes.
Not a one.
A Keith safe game.
Now, there are plenty of monsters that have insta-kill, but no cliffs.
Just an amusing anecdote about that. I was playing Roblox with my 7-year-old and my daughter. We were both playing it, and there's obbies. Yeah, yes, I was. That is true. That isn't the funny part. But we're playing obbies, which are like obstacle courses, for those of you who don't speak the youthful vernacular. So we're playing an obby, and it's like a jumping from thing. And I kept falling down. And I was just muttering to myself, thank God Dave and Doug aren't watching this. So he's like, wait, what'd you say, Dad? Nothing, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
Doug,
heard from a fan of the show that Roblox is much better than Minecraft.
did you send the link to Paul?
So,
I did.
Roblox is better than what?
Okay.
I emailed him.
Roblox is better than Minecraft. So, a fan of fatherly fandoms, Twitch, told me that the other night.
Was that Dinky Soul Man?
I think so. I think it was Dinky Soul Man. My favorite fan. You're awesome, guy.
Hopefully you're in bed. Sully, if you're out there watching it,
No.
You're in trouble.
Late. You got school.
I guess
in
he
the
could be
morning,
what he does.
I just told Sierra that the email to invite Paul into this is in his email, and she says, "Oh, it better be."
Oh. Come on, Paul.
Well, Sierra, now that we got your attention, if Sabine sacrifices herself for the galaxy, would you like her then?
Would that be acceptable? Her dying for everybody? No.
No.
She says no. Nope.
Didn't
No
even
redemption.
hesitate.
No redemption for this character.
That's wrong, Sierra.
All
That's
right,
wrong.
y'all ready to welcome Paul to the mix?
Y'all ready for
Always.
this?
Bring him in. Put him in the top center. All right.
Hey, welcome.
Yay!
You're just fresh from watching the episode. What did you think?
Oh.
I liked it. I liked it. I liked it. I think it kind of felt like a filler to me, like a filler episode, a little bit. I don't know. It's just maybe I have to watch it again.
The only reason why I didn't find it to be filler is because of
It was all
Ron's
killer.
manipulation of Ahsoka and the heroes. I mean, it was
Mhm.
showing you Ron and how he's going to escape and how he's always one step ahead. I mean, there was a lot going on with his plans and with the Grey Mother. So I didn't feel it was filler, but of course, all opinions are valid here.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, Doug and I
know.
talked about that too, you know,
The grandmother.
yesterday, and how this show is supposed to really be viewed as a complete series. So this is just one little snippet in the overall story. And so I liked what we got. Yeah, was it too short? Yeah, like, do I want to see more? And would I've liked to have seen more in this show? Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. So,
You know,
Absolutely.
I cannot. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. You got your
but
drink?
yeah, I could see why people think that it was, you know, not a lot happened, just because this is just linking up to what's coming next. But yeah, we got the stuff with Thrawn as well. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed Balin's skull. I loved Ahsoka reconnecting with Sabine Wren. I loved Ezra Bridger in this. Like, Iman Isfandi did an amazing job with that character. He made me like him a lot more in this. So I love what they did with that. I loved all the fighting as well, seeing 3 Jedi together. So there was a lot of stuff in there that I very much appreciated too. But I can see your point there, Paul.
Yeah.
I cannot wait because Ezra has been very jovial. He seems very happy. They're here. Nothing's getting him down, you know, all this stuff. When he finds out what she did and basically made his sacrifice 10 years ago to be nothing, he's going to be a little angry, I think. I think we're going to see him show certain feelings. But while we're talking about that fight too with Shin Hati, he's obviously with his new force karate, I'm calling it. He's not used to fighting. He's not used to fighting other people who are force sensitive, because you saw when Shin just force pushed him into the egg car or whatever that was. You know, he wasn't ready for that because he's used to fighting stormtroopers or those, you know, Shogun mercenaries and stuff. So he's going to have to retrain the way he fights if he's going to be taking on Balin, going to be taking on, if it's the son in the final episode that Balin's looking after. He's got a lot to learn or pick up a lightsaber.
Yeah. But did you see the way that he used the force to push away Shin's lightsaber beam? Like, did you see the way that light itself was bending? Right. My gosh. That's something new. I have not seen that in Star Wars yet.
Yeah, so I like that a lot too because that was new. And we got a couple of anime fans here too. I'm very much into anime. Watch a lot of it. Doug, you do too. Paul, I know you do, and Keith, you like it. Dave, do you watch any anime?
Very little.
a little bit. So yeah,
My
for
problem
me
with
as
anime.
that for me as a hardcore anime fan myself, I don't agree with you, Bad Coyote. I still like you a lot, buddy.
Yeah.
But
I have
I didn't
seen
view
anime
this as
filler, and I don't agree that that's what this was.
This was definitely not a One Piece anime
Oh my
filler
God,
episode.
or Bleach.
No. Oh yes. So
Bleach,
yeah,
where they move an inch in the sky, and they talk. They have flashbacks from the previous episode that takes 10 minutes. They have one conversation, then they have another flashback, and then they have setup for the next episode and commercial. It's like,
that's why I don't get into anime, because I watched that with Sierra.
What we saw, I don't agree that this was filler. If anything, if you're going to call it anything, I would say it's more similar to setup. They used it to set something else up. I feel almost like the best example would be like the end credit scene after a Marvel movie, where they're using that end credit scene to set up another Marvel movie. That's what I felt like this episode was. They were moving around, putting all the pieces in place, putting everybody where they need to go in order to, okay, and now we're ready for the finale.
Yeah, this is the final. All the pieces are set up, and we're ready to go for the finale. I think a lot of people would have probably enjoyed this a lot more if it was connected to the finale.
You know, it's not like and it's not like the Marvel shows that do their finale in the second to last episode, and the actual finale is just like a bunch of talking. This one's setting up a finale that's gonna have a good finale. It's definitely, I think it's definitely gonna be a cliffhanger for this show.
Yeah. And if you view this all
Marvel
as
writer did not. A Marvel writer did not write this. Dave Filoni wrote this, and I don't think his power scaling was off per se. I think he was holding back on his force pushes a little bit against the stormtroopers. I don't think he was giving them as much force power as he was giving to hold back that blade, because stormtroopers probably would hurt him, not kill him. Shin's blade would have probably killed him. So I don't think that was a scaling off in the writing. I think it was him using the right power for the right time. I don't think it was a setup episode either. I mean, a lot happened here. I mean, Thrawn pushed the pieces where they had to go so he could make his escape to the galaxy to push his bigger plan into effect. I mean,
he's right about the Marvel shows. I think he's focused on the Marvel shows. Yeah, this is not a Marvel show. This is Dave Filoni. This is much higher writing than Marvel TV shows.
Yeah. And me and Doug discussed it yesterday. I think that like if you saw this as a whole, and like I don't know, this would have been better served just as watching this as a whole series. And I don't think that if you watched it that way, you would have taken this last 43 minutes and be like, oh man, that last 43 minutes of the series of Ahsoka dragged or anything. You'd be like, it set up some stuff with Thrawn. It gave us character arcs, and it got us, we had some amazing scenes in there. But this series is amazing. And so, yeah, it's probably hurting the series that this part of the 43 minutes was shown by.
You're just pouring gas. I don't agree with anything you just said. This is not anything.
We're getting
like a
into fisticuffs there, Bad Coyote Funky. No, it's fine. You can have a different opinion than us.
No, we're gonna send Chris after
I'm the bad.
You're the bad guy.
He's there to stoke the fire. That's all.
Love you,
You
guys.
know what?
Yeah,
I love me too.
Man.
But, he does make a good point, because we have noticed, I think Ahsoka does something that the Marvel shows don't do. Most of the Marvel shows are written like it is a 6-hour movie, where I do think this has done a much better job of being more episodic.
I don't know about that.
I know you don't think that, but think about how that ended today. I heard you talking about it last night, and I couldn't disagree more. No, maybe I could.
Okay,
maybe
I gotta hear this.
Because what happened? No fighting. It's just discussing ideas. Once again, none of them are wrong or bad.
I love you guys.
He's right. I'm going to go to Keith's house later, and I'm going to fight him. It's going to be a cage match.
We're not going to see that on the show.
We're selling tickets. It'll be a lot.
Old school pay-per-view.
But when I think of episodic, I think of a contained story.
Yes.
I think of, okay, we got a beginning, a middle, and an end to this story. And I don't think that's what we're getting with the Ahsoka series when it comes to each and every one of these episodes.
But
I think that
you can have an episodic series that has contained stories, but also have an overarching. Because in this episode, we got what needed to be done for this episode. Ahsoka arrived. She hooked up with. That's a bad term. She met up with. She met up with Ezra and Sabine.
Are we shipping Ezra and Ahsoka now? Is that a thing?
Shin and Ezra. But they basically at the end of this episode, they thought, hey, we saved the day, we did what we needed to do, we're good. And you find out with Thrawn's little explanation at the end. Yeah, they basically lost. All they needed was time and they lost that. I'm about to head back and do what I need to do. Mm-hmm. I found it to be a good ending because now next episode, we know he's blasting off. We know there's going to be another story to tell with Balin's side quest. I did not feel that this had a weird ending at all. I think it did a much better job of ending on a note with us wanting to see what happens next week, as opposed to, Paul has a funny opinion about the show.
All right, let's hear it, Paul.
No, okay. So this past episode, I enjoyed it a lot, but there was a particular part that I'm pretty sure, I hope I didn't see it wrong, but I was like,
are you talking about when she was down in the shell pod thing?
No, when she jumped out the ship.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh no, that was so bad. Look.
Yeah, the effect for that wasn't the best. I'll definitely give you that. That was like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Them flying off the plane in the.
That was
when the plane crashed into the mountain. That was so bad. I could have done that.
That was so bad. So yeah.
It was like a week before the show was supposed to air, and they're like, wait, are we forgetting anything? Oh no, we forgot to do the CG for the ship. Quick, hire someone off Fiverr to do it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So yeah, that's a valid criticism there, Paul. For sure.
Like, maybe we'll get lucky.
That's what she meant by this, huh?
But me and Doug noticed also something else when Ezra and Sabine Wren were in the little pod and everything, and Sabine mysteriously comes up from
just
underneath. It's like, what are you doing down there,
Family
Sabine?
show. This is a family show.
Family show, guys.
Quick, eject family show.
Like, Sabine.
And then she's just leaning back like, yeah.
No, like, what is going on? Yeah, well, what's going on here?
Force run out of
no tuck and roll.
Are you talking about like the Phantom Menace force run where they like basically teleport?
The only time that the Jedis have ever force run like that is like, why don't they ever use that again?
They can fly now. They can fly now.
They can fly now.
I hate that line so much.
I do too.
Wait, what is that quote from?
I don't know. There's some
good question. I don't remember.
Fan film. I
don't like it.
I think it was a fan film, Dave. Yeah. Let's just leave it at that.
Yep.
He's not wrong. I was kind of shocked when they both, like when they circled the wagons and they both kind of came down out of the little side hat. And I'm like, how big is that thing? Is it like a bag of holding? Is there like a whole bigger space inside of it that it looks like on the outside?
TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside. So
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed this because I don't have Twitch open. My
Sarah, redeemed to Gilbert.
Great, just what we needed. My kids are asleep and I'm screaming like a crazy person now.
What's Dad doing downstairs? Like,
I
don't know.
As I was watching this show, all I could think about is, why don't we just have a giant force battle right in the middle? Just have everyone going crazy. That would have been great. Who cares about the story? Who cares about the characters? We just need a battle, like the Hobbit movie, the third one, whatever the hell that was called. No character development, no nothing. We don't need it.
Just like Batman versus Superman. Something like that. Just all action, no plot.
Yeah. You want to talk about filler?
That was a masterpiece.
Look at the Hobbit movies.
Come on, Dave. Did you see how great that movie was? It was like, hey, we have the same mom names. Let's not fight. We're buddies now.
Martha!
How awesome was that?
That was clever.
Blew my mind, guys. Martha,
Mom's
name is Martha too? Oh, Best bros.
I would rather have a hot,
That's right.
pointed stick rotated in my eye socket than see that movie again. It was so terrible. How was that released in theaters? Who allowed this to be seen by more than just Zack Snyder and his family? Dear God.
It's like Luke saying, "Oh, your aunt's name is Baru too."
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're friends then.
Sierra, you're wrong for this.
It's the best movie ever.
We need to cage Sierra now. There's no way we're letting
Can
her
we
get
cage
away
Sierra?
with that.
Is that possible?
There's
Yeah, we
some
need to.
Cage yourself.
thick sarcasm there, Sierra. I can sense it.
I gotta say, like, the only thing I liked about that movie was the whole Batman fight scene where he just demolishes all those guys. I like that highlight. of
You're
the
right.
movie.
When he killed all those guys, that was
Yeah,
great. Because
totally
Lord knows
Batman.
he didn't
He's all
become
about
Batman because his parents were killed. You know,
Chopper
he was like,
loved this
was
version
great.
of Batman.
He did.
This was Chopper's version of Batman.
They call it
And
Chop
I'm all
Man.
about that. Yeah.
Not
Chop
only
Man.
did Chopper start the First Order, he also wrote Batman versus Superman. He's
I think
like,
he did.
we need more killings.
More killing.
I need
That's
More
like this-
Batman to
killing.
kill.
Yeah. Zack Snyder went to Chopper's like, what can I do to jazz up this movie? Well, let me tell you, kill everybody.
Whoa, guy, dude, man,
Okay.
that
we'll do
escalated so quick.
But to circle back to Ahsoka, guys, Bad Coyote brought this up a little bit earlier in the chat. I also loved when Ahsoka hugged Ezra. I think that was very sincere, and it worked. It worked very well. So there are things in here that aren't filler as well that we really liked. Right? Can we agree? Ahsoka hugging Ezra, good moment.
I like the whole thing. I just had that one thing about C-3PO, but it wasn't even a major thing. So
No problem.
otherwise, I
Yeah.
love the show.
And like you guys said, all opinions are valid. If you didn't like it, that's great. You know, we all love Star Wars, and we can all love things about it, and we can all nitpick things about this stuff too. Not a big deal. You guys are great out there, and I love having this conversation. This is the best conversation we can have. Whenever we have disagreements, it's not a problem. I love that.
And I think everybody here agrees that Sabine Wren is the best character, and she's
The
the
best.
best in the series.
It's the best.
Everybody-
Right?
well,
Sierra loves
since
Sabine.
And
Yeah,
And
since
Sierra's
Sierra's not
saying-
actually on the air, so it's okay.
Sierra
opinion
is
isn't
saying
valid,
she's
Chris.
serious. And all I can say to that, Sierra, is why so serious?
Why so serious?
She's in here assaulting Chris. Not assaulting,
And Doug.
Oh man.
insulting
Oh, boy.
Chris, insulting Doug. And as long as she doesn't insult me, we're fine. Keep at it, Sierra.
I'm
These
sorry,
guys
Sierra.
deserve it.
But who currently has your boyfriend here? Yeah, not you.
Yeah,
I'm not
We-
part of
Yeah.
it.
he's like, I'm gonna stay out of it.
Yeah, it's like,
You guys,
So I'd
like,
say
when this is
when-
over, I gotta go in the next room.
good man, Paul. Good man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
that is
agree
a
with that,
great-
Coyote. I totally agree with this.
I, been a fan since 77 when I was 6.
Yep.
And once again, it's okay. One of the things that I think some people have a hard time dealing, it's okay to argue. When I argue with someone,
Yeah,
I'm not mad
agreed.
at them. I'm just,
Yeah.
hey, this is my point. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can, come to some mutual conclusion. If not, we'll just yell at each other and have some fun.
That's
And
These days on social media, that's
Like that.
that's as soon as somebody doesn't like your opinion, they start insulting you. We don't do that.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
I respect all you guys, and I love all you guys. So even if we disagree on stuff, it's not a big deal to me. So
Mhm.
and it never will
even
be.
even Sierra loving, Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
As long as she
Which
keeps
she
it respectful
doesn't.
and doesn't start jumping into our comments or WB's comments on Twitter talking about it, it's all good.
And I love that Sierra is a part of this, and you could think our
Yeah.
opinions are not valid at all. It's great. Cool.
Now, Sierra, if I can
One
defend
comment.
myself, I know I'm putting in the cage for a late Gilbert, but when we use it through StreamYard, we don't have Stream Elements working to alert us that went off. So I didn't know it. So
Mhm. Yeah.
I will accept my caging, but there is a reason why it
You know
came
what?
off late.
I
Reason to the
volunteered
madness
tribute.
and the dreams.
I did not have Twitch open. That is my fault. I wasn't paying attention.
No excuses. Man, Sierra's being hard tonight.
Keith,
Sorry.
I will take your place in the cage
Whew.
We should both be caged. We both deserve a cage.
together.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's okay. Deserve our time.
It's okay.
No substitutions.
No substitutions. Whoa.
Why are you so mean to
Whoa.
us?
She's so hostile tonight.
Oh,
right?
no. Woo.
Oh, you got to go out there
Oh.
and like, you
Well,
know,
We still love you, Sierra.
If you need
give
help,
her a
that's
happy
right.
drink or
Good.
something. So she can
I only have one question. Paul, what did you do?
I didn't do anything.
It's like, leave me out of this. I'm Paul, and that's in between y'all. So
Paul is between y'all.
we tease my sister's fiance all the time
yeah.
because my sister is very similar to Sierra in many ways. I am finding, and every now and again we'll tease her fiance and be like, "Are you okay, man?" Like, and he goes, "I'm great. Everything is perfect."
Twitch.
Oh.
Save me.
You can use that all the time now.
Mhm.
My name is Paul, and this is between y'all. You can use that anytime you don't want to talk.
Right. That's great.
Feel
That was
free.
my name was Paul.
Mhm. Right? That's why you're awesome, Paul.
Thank you. I don't know why she's
Now.
so hostile tonight.
You know, she's probably finally coming to accept the fact that Sabine is going to save not only this galaxy, but the other galaxy in one swoop. She's going to be the hero of the New Republic. Ahsoka's going to end with her getting
Stop
her medal.
stoking the fire, man.
Oh, sorry.
he stole the gasoline from Bad Coyote.
Yeah,
That's
seriously.
right.
Sierra is capitalizing everything at this point.
All caps.
I know.
Okay. What's going on?
In the second
Stop
season
cap.
of Andor, there's going to be a Sabine statue being built. That's,
So,
Oh.
Sierra, you said that Ezra is the Star Wars Moses. Well, not to give you any spoilers for the Bible in case you haven't read this far yet, but Moses doesn't make it to the Holy Land, so I don't think Ezra is making it out of the
doesn't.
galaxy far
Oh,
away.
Good. Yeah,
That's
good
good.
point.
That, I feel
Wow.
like that's totally a Ryan Airy theory. That sounds like something he would have said.
Hey, I mean, they've had Enoch, and he does look very similar.
He
to
does look
Moses.
very, very Moses-y. Yeah.
He looks biblical, so
I'm glad you mentioned Captain Enoch.
He's
Because
going
that
home,
brings-
you guys. He's
That
going
brings us back to the question I think we all have to comment on and answer.
Mm.
What's in the box?
Oh, again, we didn't. It's still the mystery. I am starting to get a little frustrated with that.
He
I
showed
want
us a
the-
little hologram, like that they're almost,
Yeah,
almost
almost
all on the ship.
done.
So clearly they are important.
So
It's a
yeah,
time capsule.
that's my nitpick for this episode. Is let's just what's in there? Let's do it.
Bibble.
Yeah.
Why would you spoil the Bibble, Doug?
The
Bibble.
The
Spoil
Bibble.
the Bibble, Doug.
Bibble.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I tell you what, I won't tell you what happens with Job. That one's a real good one.
Yeah.
There's monsters and everything.
You
What
mean
about
job.
Gamora?
Mhm.
What about Sodom?
Job.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh, they turn out fine. Nothing
good,
to worry
good,
about
good.
there.
Right.
What
Yeah,
do
all
you
the-
think are in the boxes? Have any of your theories changed yet?
You know, I
Well,
heard you guys talking last night about them. They made a point of saying they're in the catacombs.
They're in the catacombs, right?
They're
Yeah.
robbing graves.
Mm-hmm.
And
So they're dead bodies.
but
It sounds
they're
like
not
a
taking them for the dead.
Nice
They're
armor.
not taking them for the dead bodies. I think they could have. We've seen a lot of that gold material on the chimera, on the armor for the stormtroopers, where it probably was damaged. I think whatever it is, it's going to be a lot like Beskar or something along those lines. That's going to aid him. And a lot of these, maybe Zepho warriors or whatever it is in the catacombs that are down there, are wearing armor made out of it. So they're
Oh.
taking it not for the dead bodies to reanimate them, but for the armor, because when they get back and he starts putting the Empire back, they're going to need troops with that armor to fight any Jedi that may be left and to basically, become dominant in the galaxy once again.
It's an interesting theory, and they have set up the Zepho in this with the Sith hieroglyphs and everything on those runes. So yeah, maybe there's some Zepho technology in there, and they set that up in Bad Batch too, which Filoni is a part of. So maybe. Hopefully, we find out in the finale.
That's not a bad theory. Not the Zepho maybe, but the whole body thing. I hadn't thought about this, but we were having a discussion the previous episode, kind of talking about
move your body.
We were talking about
Into Thrawn's
similarities, and between this and like little elements from Game of Thrones, right? What if this is kind of a situation where you've got, we already have the senator that doesn't think Thrawn is coming back. Now you got to convince him that there are zombie stormtroopers, and they're going to have to capture one of them and cut it open in front of him and let the green gas pour out, and he'll finally be like, that's when he'll believe, as all these Star Destroyers are popping out of hyperspace.
Breathe it in.
I think you have a point. I think you have a point there, Doug.
Well, does this mean that Bad Coyote Funky, do you think that Savage Opress will be coming back?
Savage Opress.
Well, Savage Opress wasn't killed on Peridia, so I don't think his body would have been on Peridia.
No.
And even though Thrawn needs numbers, he will get increased numbers when he gets back to this galaxy, because we did see via the Shadow Council in Mandalorian Season 3 that there are a lot of, remnants out there that he is going to bring together.
Yeah.
And
so
they're
he doesn't
connected
need
already.
He doesn't need zombie bodies as much as he needs something to help them against, the upcoming battle.
He just likes zombie bodies.
Yeah. Think of the force that Gideon was able to muster there on, to fight against them. And there are several of these Shadow Council people out there in the galaxy, and they're talking to each other. They're connected with Thrawn in some way. We saw that in Mandalorian Season 3. So, it's a formidable force that Senator Xylo doesn't think is a problem.
Yeah. What if
Short xylophone?
Xylophone.
Oh my God.
Hey, bad Coyote Funky, we have one rule on the show. We do not kink shame. And we're not going to kink shame Thrawn.
Right? If that's your thing, Thrawn.
But
by all means, if you're not hurting anybody.
Right. If you're not hurting anybody else, then I'm not going to stop you from doing whatever.
Same, Dave, same. Yeah. You do you, buddy. You do you.
That's right. You got every right. You're in a different galaxy. Do what you want.
Hey, man, there's no laws on Peridia.
Right. What stays in Peridia stays in Peridia. So
Hey,
what happens in Peridia stays in Peridia.
if the great mothers ain't giving it up, you got to.
Oh,
sorry,
geez.
this is a family show. I'm sorry.
Family show.
I'm sorry.
Usually I have to say this to Dave, but geez, come on, dude.
That's why they talk. That's why they
Minds
talked to him
together.
with so much fear. He just skipped right over them. He was just like, "Nah, you're not my type." That zombie stormtrooper.
Jesus.
When the bean showed up, he was like, "Ooh, fresh meat. Better send her away. Get her out of here."
Right. I need her in my room.
She's a little bit too alive.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I can reanimate that.
Oh, but Ezra, maybe not for long.
Oh, wait, hold on, guys. I just got an email. It's from Lucasfilm. A cease and desist
Shutting us
letter.
down. I know. You're all now sued.
And Doug has actually been hired as CEO. That's crazy.
Oh no! Oh boy, that's an idea.
Yeah.
No, wait.
You
What is
think the toy chest is bad now?
Lord.
Oh, nice. What is Kathleen Kennedy's actual president? Doug is going to be president of Lucasfilm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's still there too.
Yeah, I can't believe she's still there.
So many rumors about her being fired and going away.
To say, I watched Star Wars Theory about a month ago, and he said she was fired.
Oh, really?
I like Attack on Show the way they do it, because he's like, well, what do you think? Should they get rid of her? Like every year he does the same
Every
thing.
year. He has that
Every
clip
year.
where he's like, he pulled the clips from every year that he said it
Uh-huh.
and everything. I'm right there
And they
with you
should.
there, Robbie. It's the same thing. It's like, oh, maybe this year. Maybe we'll get a switch up.
It's like if she announces a show, it's like it's not going to happen. That's just
Yeah,
But she still
that's why
gets her
she
name
hasn't
in the
announced
credits.
anything.
Look at all of the directors and all the projects that they've announced that have never actually been made. That's definitely a telling sign that the president of the company has issues and can't get things done the way they should be, because you do one of two things. If you're just in discussions with a director about a project, don't announce it until everything's signed, sealed, and delivered. And there's been so many rumors.
I'm yours.
Yeah, and the Taika Waititi is officially off now. Star Wars.
I don't know if it's official yet, because there's rumors about it, but they haven't officially said it's canceled. And he said, his quote was, "I'll probably never finish writing my Star Wars movie," and that led to a bunch of articles and people saying that it was off. But we've never gotten the official cancellation from Lucasfilm, which is, once again, how they run business, which is so weird. We've never gotten an official Rian Johnson's trilogy is canceled.
Yeah, you got it right.
But all we know at this point,
darn it, I did get it. Darn it.
Usually I let you do it because I don't like him, but you got it right that time.
And all we know at this point is we got that 3 movies coming out. The one back when the Jedi were formed with and James Mangold. Jeez, stop, steal my card right now. And Dave Filoni's one, and then Rey's story afterwards. Those are the only 3 that we know are in production right now. So everything else could be on the chopping block, or could be made. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, they were gonna have to do a fantastic job with this Rey movie for it to be anything, because these 3 practice movies written by our art school students just didn't go over well. I mean, they went over monetarily, but not story wise.
Those fan films were interesting. I gotta say, they did a good job with their fan films.
They were interesting. Well,
we
discovered how bad it can get.
You had a very interesting story, young man.
Good try. Let's try it.
Now, Bad Coyote Funky, if they did come out and say indefinite hiatus, and it's official. I did not hear that. So if that has been put out by Lucasfilm, then that definitely is
gone.
Very definite.
Right.
Nobody cares about Rey, Sierra.
That is not true.
I agree.
No, hey, what about her parent? Oh wait, they left her for money.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
I
don't care for Rey.
Right.
What about her magic grandpa?
Her dead grandpa?
Now, he was dead before.
He's a good guy.
He's good guy Palps.
Are you talking about good guy Palps?
I am talking about good guy Palps.
The best grandpa in the universe. Come on, in the galaxy.
All right. Now, if the main idea was that anybody could have the Force, and then they have the main person turn out to be not only a descendant of Palpatine, but claims to be a Skywalker at the end of it, that kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, Palpatine won by the end of that movie. He killed all the Skywalkers.
By the end of that movie.
The lineage for Skywalker is done, and his granddaughter took the damn last name. So his lineage gets to live on. He won.
Yeah.
He did. Good guy Palps.
I'm a Skywalker now. No, that's not how that works.
No, that's not how that works.
Who's there to tell her she's not?
I need
that lady. That lady could have.
Lady was like, "No, you're not. They died."
No, you're not. This is Beru's house. You get out of here.
Yeah.
I
shut the F up. You are not a Skywalker.
Wait. You have an Aunt Beru too? Dun dun dun
Hey,
dun.
You see those moisture evaporators? Huh? Did you put them there? No.
Yeah.
Okay, Sierra. To be fair, Rey got about as much training as Luke did.
Yeah,
no,
I'll give you that.
No,
he really did not have that many training scenes. He ran around with Yoda on his shoulder a little bit, and then he had to take off to go save his friends.
She had 2 scenes.
He did not do a lot of training.
Movie. He had an entire movie. She had 3 scenes, maybe 2 scenes.
And Luke had what, 4 scenes?
Luke had the entire center of that movie.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did. Go back and watch it.
He definitely did not. I've watched that movie plenty of times.
Where's my
barely
popcorn?
got trained.
Watch it again.
He was goofing around with Yoda. Yoda ate, was bugging R2. Yoda ate his food. He told
was
him
there.
he was like, lift the X-wing. Luke's like, I can't lift the X-wing. I'm a whiner.
I'm sorry, Doug. You're wrong.
And you're wrong too.
Oh, you guys are great.
Yeah, but not about that.
Now that Yoda was training.
I'm gonna step off and use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Do it.
Right. Do it.
Do it.
Yes, bad Coyote Funky. You're right. Skywalker isn't a Batman cowl.
Right.
Yeah, very good. I like that.
You can't.
I think the reason I liked that ending of that movie the way it was, even though I don't know what movie we're talking about, is because it was so bad. It was the perfect, terrible ending to a movie.
It's laughable.
That almost made me never want to see another movie again.
Paul,
I was like,
theaters.
Yeah, I saw it. Oh, what?
You did? You saw it in the theater?
Rise of Skywalker? Yeah.
No, I thought you were talking about the Batman versus Superman.
Oh no, I didn't see Batman versus Superman until I got a free copy from somebody.
I saw it
then
free
I
on a
watched
plane.
it, and I was like, "Oh man,
That shit was so funny. Oh man,
You tickled Paul.
Your buds fell up.
I try." You know,
Tickle.
Tickle
that
Paul
movie
Keith.
made me want to rip my eyes out.
What just happened? Keith, are you tickling Paul? What's going
Yes.
on? What did I miss?
I was just ranting. I was just ranting about Rise of Skywalker,
Okay.
and I truly loved the ending where she said she's a Skywalker, because there was no other way to make that terrible movie worse. But they found a way. They did it. They accomplished it. They said, "You know what?
There's a way.
We want to make something so terrible that whatever we do next is going to be applauded by the masses." That was the whole reason for Rise of Skywalker.
Ooh.
They were successful. Mandalorian,
Right.
people are like, we love it now because it's not Rise of Skywalker.
You know
Wait,
what?
no. Keith, they could have made it worse. It could have ended with after her saying, and what's your family name? Skywalker, Rey Skywalker, and then all of a sudden Kylo Ren runs off from the corner, and I'm alive again too.
And I'm here. Let's get some blue milk.
And look at this, I'm wearing a whole new outfit. That's a new action figure for you,
And that is followed by a dance number.
right?
Nobody puts Ray in a corner. Oh my god.
Those movies, man.
Those what?
Oh,
I don't know.
Star movies.
Those whatever those fever dreams.
So
There you go.
did you gentlemen know that I had to watch Rise of Skywalker twice?
Oh,
No, why?
I'm sorry.
What?
I saw it once with you two, and then weirdly enough, the next day we had a holiday party for work for our department, and that was what everybody decided they wanted to do. So we went and we ate at Black Rock, and then we went over to Imagine.
Well, I wasn't working there then. So
Oh, man, Doug, I am so sorry. Did you nap? I would have
what?
napped that second day. I would have napped.
I mean,
during-
I was pretty full, so I probably did. Just put the lounge chair up.
woke up for the Carrie Russell scene and then go back to bed.
you're like, you can't force me to watch this. I'm not doing it.
Who is the worstest Star Wars character based
The
on
worst?
character quality?
Jar Jar Binks. Boom. Sink it. Count
Based on character
Fadeaway jumper.
quality. Besides Ray,
I
She
think Jar
said
Jar is worse
anything
than
else.
Rey.
She thinks Ray is the only bad character. I disagree with that one.
yeah. Hot take. I like Jar Jar. So
What?
burn me at the stake, guys. I love them. And I have no hate for
and I
Jar
know
Jar.
Bad Coyote said this earlier.
I
I
love
actually
Ahmed
liked
best,
Rey in Force Awakens. I thought that she was actually a pretty good character.
I did like her in Force Awakens too.
I enjoyed her discovering what the Force was without actually like she only knew
Mhm.
fairy tales about it. She didn't really know exactly what it was, and her kind of like accidenting her way into figuring out like what it does. Like
Mhm.
she almost sounded like a kid who had heard like she had listened to Broom Kid tell her stories about the magic space wizards, and she's like, I think I heard that they could like mind, control people's minds or whatever. And so like her kind of accidentally discovering it, I thought that was interesting. Also, just watching the fact that someone as powerful as Kylo Ren, who my gosh, the showing in the beginning of that movie, him stopping a blaster bolt.
Yeah, something we hadn't seen with the Force at that point. Like,
I think that's why the whole
that was
Ezra
not
thing,
impressive.
the whole Ezra using the Force to push the lightsaber blade. I think that's why it excited me, because it reminded me of that.
It was very similar to that. Yeah, I agree.
I like that idea.
Yeah, The Force Awakens is a very serviceable film, and
That's a good word for it. I like
heard.
that.
Yeah,
It was the okayest of the last.
It was the okayest of the fan films.
The worst thing about The Force Awakens, it was too similar to A New Hope.
Yeah.
Yep.
But other than that, yeah, it was probably the most serviceable film in the thing.
But
And
you
Sierra,
totally know why they did that.
Sierra. Okay, I agree. Ray is the worstest character. I was going to say Sabine. You had convinced me, but now, okay,
Oh, you got
you're
her.
right.
You
It's
got
Ray.
her, Keith. You got her. Got him.
Wait, what was the name of Benicio del Toro's character?
Oh, yeah. I don't
That
know. But that was the worst character. Yes.
I really thought that was going to go somewhere, and then they just dropped it off.
Nowhere.
It was like Keith playing a video game or something. It was just like, what? Okay.
Hold on. Let me George Lucas this. What was his name? What was his name? Traeger Snip Whistle. That was his name.
That's it. We got it.
Traeger Snip
I'm not
Whistle.
even looking up. Yeah.
Savage Press.
His name is Samuel Press.
And the cousin to Count Dooku, Brigadier General
of course.
Diffle.
Sierra. Yeah.
Oh, DJ. Yep.
DJ, that was his name? Oh my god.
Wow.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
just
don't
looked it up
remember
on
either.
IMDb.
Wiped from my memory.
Wow, that's like one of the most Timmest names I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Was he on Full House too?
Tim, T-I-M-M. Well, that's clever.
Huh?
I'm Bix. I'm Cassian Andor. I'm Tim.
Yeah.
Had two
I
M's.
gotta say,
It was very
What
spicy.
What are you talking
okay.
about?
Tim.
Here?
With the extra.
Hey, we just lost Tim
I don't know what that was.
recently, and I don't think it's right for you guys to be mocking his name when we are
Tim?
still mourning the death of Tim.
Yeah.
it was like the second to last
No,
episode,
Oh
right?
my god.
Wait, Sierra's right. Paul and
Oh.
hasn't named his worst Star Wars character yet. Chris did though. You weren't listening, Sierra. And he's not going to repeat it. What is it, Paul? What do you got?
DJ.
I will say. Honestly, I probably would say
Darth Vader.
Jar Jar.
Jar Jar, yeah.
I will say Jar Jar.
We got three.
Yeah, I
on
would say Jar Jar.
I'm in. I'm the odd man out.
Oh,
When it comes to
I
Jar
is
Jar.
the Saris.
Yes.
I would say Jar Jar.
Young person speak?
That's okay.
Why Jar Jar?
Why? Yeah. Why Jar Jar? What? What? Are you asking why we didn't like him?
Paul,
or why
I think
Chris
you're
did like
the
him?
only acceptable answer you could have given was Sabine Wren. So
I know. I think that's
Right.
part. I think I
Better
should
change
just
your
say
answer.
Sabine.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Sabine.
Support
No,
your.
it's not.
It's Sabine.
I'm sorry.
Support
You
your
have to
lady.
give in.
Yep.
And
You got
the
it.
reason why
Good man.
it's Jar Jar for me is he was such a bumbling fool. It wasn't like he had any redeemable any redeemable qualities. It's like even in the last battle of that movie, he's like falling over and just dropping bombs and they're hitting the right spot. And
Yeah.
you know what? There's something for luck with certain characters, but having them just being a complete fool and having
Okay.
everything work out right for them, I couldn't stand
Hey.
it. I still can't
Hey.
stand that character.
Okay. But he was the only character in Star Wars to fully give in to the will of the Force. That's what he was doing there.
You know,
He
Jar
had
Jar
to.
thinks his best parts were on Robot Chicken.
Okay.
Hey, Eddie, I'm a Star Ghost now.
Jar Jar, he was just every time Jar Jar opened his mouth, I was just like, no.
Oh, dude, come on.
It's the best. It's the best, Paul. He's the greatest character.
I'm like
So
Qui-Gon.
intriguing.
Stop doing that.
Just because one has the ability to speak does not make him intelligent.
I'm just happy that the actor was able to be Kelleran Beck too, so he could
Kelleran
actually
Beck,
play
yes. I
a,
love
Now
all
that's
a
a
good
good
Star Wars character.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's another
Yes.
thing Filoni does well. Anyone that they might not have liked before, he'll make them likable.
He pulls out that
Yeah.
toy chest, man. He's good at that.
For sure. For
He's
sure.
really good at that.
Like, yeah, you guys might not like Jar Jar, but like a lot of the people over the years have given Ahmed Best so much grief over his performance and
Yeah,
everything, to the
unfortunately.
point where he, almost committed suicide. And if you guys have any issues out there, talk to somebody.
Mhm.
Call somebody. It's not worth it. And so it's fine that people don't like Jar Jar, but it is not fine for you to go after the actor who
Yeah.
portrayed him.
People were harassing the
for
actress who played Rose Tico too.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Not okay.
Not okay.
Yeah,
okay
you
at
gotta
all,
separate, man. They were mad at Chris Pratt when he woke up Thanos. I mean,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
come on, it's a movie, people. We all
Right.
know who these people are. We're not going to
Mhm.
mention it, but we know these kinds of people.
And that is, I would never blame Ahmed Best for that performance. I blamed
No.
George Lucas and anyone who had a hand in that, because that was just a terrible character. Now, if it would have came back that he was actually a Sith Lord, Darth Jar Jar,
I still have this theory. So yeah, Lord.
I would have loved it.
Lord Jar Jar. It's true. We're gonna find out at the end of all these
I
movies.
did
and
enjoy
series.
all the Darth Jar Jar theories. Those were pretty
Darth
fun.
Jar Jar. Yep.
No, I think Sierra's comment on the screen, Hayden Christensen, he did a few
Yeah.
more
True.
movies before he
No,
took
I think she's talking about Jake Lloyd, the kid who played
Yeah.
him in the Phantom
talking
Menace.
about Jake
Oh,
Lloyd. And he had problems
Yeah.
all throughout school. He was picked on incessantly. Got into a lot of trouble as an adult. Like he's been in jail quite a
That
few
definitely
times.
was not his fault.
Yeah, it's not his fault at all.
I still say to
Poor
this
kid.
day, because
Poor kid.
you guys know that I nitpick the hell out of the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
I still say to this day, George should not have started with an 8-year-old kid.
Same. Yeah. And we've said this
Not a
before
good move.
on
Kid
the stream.
actors are so hard to get right.
Mhm.
Child
Yeah.
actors are so hard to get right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, no offense, but a lot of them are just bad actors. They're not great at it. They're still
I
learning.
mean, they're 8 years old. They've had no practice,
Exactly. They haven't refined their craft yet.
Mhm.
And the other kid that was going to be Anakin, like he was a very good actor,
Oh yeah.
but at the same time, he just didn't pop. And I agreed with that. Like George Lucas saw like
Yeah.
Jake Lloyd, and he was like, he's not refined, but the
Mhm.
scenes where he does pop, he's really good, and he steals the scene. But we're gonna have to work a lot more with it. And the other kid was just really good about delivering his lines. And they actually, I think he does like a little documentary later on. The guy who was going to be Anakin, and I really want to check it out. But yeah, it would be interesting.
Now we need Clayface from Harley Quinn to come on and be like, now this is pod racing.
Yes. Aha! Alan Tudyk, I love him.
He is the
Give him
best.
anything. He is.
And as you know, he was the
Agreed.
voice for the droid in Andor.
Mm-hmm.
He was indeed. He was.
Oh, hey,
indeed.
did we
That's a great
spread the
choice.
news about Doom Patrol yet?
Not yet.
True.
That it's coming back.
Final
It's-
season.
We're going to get them last 6 episodes finally. Did we tell our audience this?
I don't know. October 12th, I believe, is the start of the second part of the final season.
Cannot
that is-
wait.
Sad to see it go, though.
Yeah.
That is
2
a
days
wild
before
card.
Rick and Morty, by the way. Oh, you can hit the button there, Doug. I just did a Rick and Morty.
And yes, child actors are definitely a mixed bag. I mean, like sometimes they get it right.
Thank you, Doug. And if you guys, obviously everybody here has heard the new Rick and Morty voices. Right on. I love them.
I couldn't
I
tell
like
the
Rick.
difference.
Yeah.
Morty. he's got more of a distinct voice than Rick does, so I could kind of tell a little bit more with Morty, but it's acceptable.
Yeah, it's very close. Close enough for me.
It is close. It is close. They did a good job with the replacements.
Yeah. Oh, I love the replacement, Paul Westerberg, and oh wait, that's not what you're talking about. We have to make our
replacements. Yeah,
we have to make our obscure music reference.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't listened to the replacements,
I knew they had a popular song, yeah, but I can't remember.
Oh, what was their popular song? Let's look it up.
Look it up.
Yeah, just look it up, man. Come on, guys.
Google it, man. What's the matter with you? You Generation X?
Oh, there it is.
So mean.
What?
I'm sorry, you're.
Can't Hardly
video
Wait.
Is distracting. I keep watching it. That's a good fight scene.
Keep watching the show, right?
Yeah, I'm watching the show. Doug, this is so distracting.
You're
probably gonna turn it on as soon as we're done, though. So
that's amazing. Like it was worth it just for the fight scenes in this episode.
Yeah, they did a very
Return
of the Jedi type of thing where they had those 3 battles going at once.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly,
Very
Dave,
cool.
and I like that. Very cool. Did we want to rate this, or we want to?
I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with the newbie, Paul. On the Doug scale, what would you rate it?
NySith.
Just this episode, not the whole series.
Just this episode, I'll give it a 7. I give it a 7.
A 7?
In my opinion.
Not a bad score.
Give it a 7.
Well, that's
I think it was just too short. I think overall, I feel like they did show a lot with Thrawn, but I think I was just hoping for more because from like episode 1 all the way up to now, it was just kind of nonstop, and I felt like just kind of halted just a little bit for me in pace because it was like I feel like the build up from episode 1 to now was just like I can't wait. So it felt to me, maybe that's just me, I'm gonna have to watch it again. It just felt like it halted for a second and then it picked up and I was like, oh, okay. And then I guess that's just me though. I don't know. I had to watch it again.
Okay. Very valid thoughts. Who's next, guys?
Well, I
All
can
right,
go
Chris,
next.
I'll pick them. Chris, you go next. Sorry, Keith.
So I was trying to think if I like my rating has changed since yesterday, but no, I think I'm gonna stick with my 7.5 out of 10. There's a lot of really good stuff. I see the criticisms with like it being too short. I want more as well. I want more, and I know I shouldn't, as Anakin says, but I very much liked seeing Thrawn as a tactician, thinking it out, knowing what's going to happen. Those things were great. Like I mentioned just previously, those fight scenes were amazing. Getting 3 Jedi in one place, fighting it out, those were awesome. I'm glad that we got that. I'm glad that we saw Ahsoka team back up with Sabine Wren and then work it out and whatnot. And I like the mystery that's being set up and the setup that we're getting for the finale. I'm pumped for the finale. So this got me excited for the finale. It did what it's required to do. So 7.5 out of 10 for me still.
Nice.
There you go.
All right, Keith, I didn't mean to cut you off, so you go ahead for the next one.
No, that was no problem. I really enjoyed this episode, and watching it a second time, I think they did a lot of things really well. We talked about the fight scenes. They were great. We got, Grand Admiral Thrawning it, the exact opposite of Jar Jar Binks. Everything is really deliberate. There's no luck involved. He takes luck out of the equation, and seeing him work his magic on manipulating the heroes to thinking they've won when really he just wants to get out of that godforsaken galaxy. And he got the time that he needed. I thought it was really well done. I enjoyed it. I mean, the one nitpick I had is I really wish we saw Sabine with her helmet on. And that's, just a tiny little nitpick because I'm sure the actress wants her face seen and all that good stuff. But overall, I think exactly what Chris said. It got me excited for the finale next week. It did everything it was supposed to do. It has, a lot of group fight scenes. And like we said, 3 different things going on at once, very Star Wars-y. We had,
You're stoking the fire, Paul. You're stoking the fire.
And
Let's just not go there.
it basically pushed the characters to where they need to be, development wise. Being Sabine, seeing, as Dave put earlier, seeing, Ahsoka being the Ahsoka we knew, with that burden lifted off of her shoulders, to me was great. And I enjoyed the minute of this episode. It did seem a little bit short. Like we could have added a few more minutes to it at least. That would have been nice. But I definitely think it was, while not as good as like episode 5, it definitely is about an 8.5 for me.
Yeah, and getting the Anakin Hayden Christensen scene in it makes it worth it too. I'm happy just for that. If the rest of it was garbage, I would have still enjoyed this episode just because of that scene. Personally.
Doug?
Who's next?
Well, I think I will bump mine up from a 7 to a 7.5, because I've been going back over it. Somebody put the video down here at the bottom, so I've been just kind of watching. I don't know who would do that.
I know,
weirdo.
right?
Really distracting. Whoever did that, bad idea. But I'm
Keeps the audience
struggling.
attention.
Other than what I've already said about how I feel like this felt like part of a larger whole, and it didn't feel like, in my opinion, I don't feel like this episode stands very well on its own. But that's literally the only nitpick that I have for it. I struggle to find anything else that I dislike about it, because, as Keith put it, Ron was throwing it up. Ahsoka and Hu Yang were just purgling away, and then that hug with Ezra, that was great. And then that questionable scene with Sabine Wren popping out from the bottom of the turtle pod. I mean, everything was so great. I just, Ezra just being like super chill about, I don't need weapons, I got the Force, man. And then again, like I keep gushing over this idea that he was able to use the Force so effectively to keep knocking people back and even blast away, move Shin Hati's lightsaber. And even I think she was like, whoa, nobody's ever done this before.
Yep.
I think if I could even come up with a single nitpick, and this is really pushing it, it was literally just my comment about Balin. I feel like he left too quickly, and I wonder if that was the original scene, or if they pulled like a what was the dog from The Simpsons that Homer was the voice
Santa's
actor
Little
for.
Helper?
Santa's Little Helper.
No, that Homer was the voice actor for on the Itchy and Scratchy show.
Okay.
It was like Woofy or
I
something.
don't know. Couldn't tell you.
And so like this running gag was everybody hated his character, and so they just edited in a new ending, and he's like, well, everybody, I'm going back to my home planet, and then terrible animation up off the screen.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah.
I
vaguely remember that.
I feel like that was Balin, man. They were just like, he's like, well, I have to go to the thing over here now. Bye, everybody. Shin, good luck. You do you.
Yeah.
It's been I don't know if you're like my daughter, or like I don't know what the deal is here, but have fun.
I have a random thought after I give my rating.
But yeah, so 7.5, like I said, really good stuff in what they're calling an episode. I don't feel like this was an episode by itself. I feel like they cut a single episode into 2 and they called them 2 different episodes. I don't think that's what this was, though. I felt that this should have been part of episode 6, or maybe part of the finale. I don't know.
Part of the finale, yeah.
Maybe like they do on the Bad Batch, put 2 episodes out at the same time because they connect.
That would have been fine too.
Yeah,
but
maybe that's why
just
they do
by
it.
itself. It just, to me, and I know you disagree with this, Keith. To me, it didn't feel like it had a proper end. It just felt like they stopped.
Another cutoff, kind of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was like, oh, okay, that's time. Let's raid another channel.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
Well, to me,
Totally.
I give it an 8.5. The only thing I didn't like was like the C-3PO thing. I can get over that though. Yeah, and I think I've explained that thoroughly throughout this stream how I felt about it. But 8.5 is my rating. Here's my random thought that I brought up a second ago, and it's not even with Star Wars. It's every ship that Peter Quill has had on the Guardians of the Galaxy has the witch's stairs on it. You know what those are? Witch's stairs are when like when you step with your right.
Offset.
Yeah, they're offset. The next one's with your
Oh,
left, and you
okay.
can't go one at a time. And they call them witches' stairs because witches can't climb them. And now, so that's all you got to do to stop the Scarlet Witch. Put her on one of his ships, and she can't get out of there. She can't get up the stairs.
Wait,
She's stuck.
can't she fly?
No, well, I guess she can fly,
Yeah.
but
She
they're
doesn't
called
need
witches' stairs
at
for
all.
that reason. They're supposed to be not to be able to climb them.
How? Like, I'm trying to reason out, like, why can't witches take a step?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't make that up, but I saw it on like some Ghost Adventure show or something, and they said that's what they're called, the witches' stairs, so because witches can't climb them. I'm like, that'd be perfect to put in there. Anyway, that's a Marvel thought.
Is Major still Kang? Yes, he is.
Oh, yeah.
That is, he will be showing up as Victor Timely. And it's funny, TG, I answered your question on YouTube chat and not Twitch chat. But we do only have 8 days left until Loki season 2, which I am definitely looking forward to.
8 days. Yeah. Right
Majors has not been fired. He hasn't filmed any new things yet. But because of the fact that his case, the rumor is that the young lady who had pressed charges against them, that they're now married. So it looks like everything the whole story is very convoluted and everything that happens. But it sounds like no charges are going to be, I don't want to say filed because they were, but the charges were dropped. And it does sound like he is going to be picking up as Kang in future Marvel shows. Which he is a tremendous actor, but that whole story with everything that happened, there's so much more to it than what we're hearing. And
so much. And we live in a country where you're innocent until proven guilty. People just jumped on the bandwagon for that, and it's easy to do that, especially with these celebrities and everything. And we don't have all the facts. We don't know exactly what happened. We weren't there. None of us were there. So it's hard to judge a man or a woman or anybody just based off of what you hear conjecture wise or half the facts or the rumors and things like that. So I'm glad that Marvel decided to take a step back and be like, okay, let's see how this plays out and whatnot and see where we need to go. So it's
like the opposite of what WB did with Johnny Depp.
Sierra was there. I was there.
Johnny Depp said he would come back and play Jack Sparrow if they issued a public apology, and they haven't.
And TG, you're right. You are definitely guilty until proven innocent on social media.
Oh yeah,
which
for sure
is a terrible thing because there are a lot of people who are falsely accused who never recover from it, and that is not right in any way.
Yeah. It's a hard gray area too, because there's a lot of victims out there too that don't come.
It's hard knock life for us.
Don't get to speak up. So
I was waiting for you to say that.
You knew what I was going to say.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Chris.
That's okay.
The next Marvels movie is The Marvels with Captain Marvel, Photon, and Miss Marvel. November 10th, I believe.
I read something about that movie this week, but I can't remember what I read, so I'm not going to share it.
I did read something too, which, we have talked about how the trailers have been less than stellar, I think is a polite way to put it.
That's an overly polite way of putting it.
Do you think that's because of the writer's strike and everything like that we're getting subpar trailers like that? Or
no, those trailers were made before the writer's strike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to give him an out.
I know. You tried.
Supposedly, according to some scoopers, which once again I know quoting scoopers is always a dangerous business, but there's been a lot of stories out there. Once again, I use stories, not like these are actually journalists, so we have to. But they're saying that the test screenings for the Marvels have been off the charts, which
I
We
hope
heard
so.
that for The Flash. We heard
Yeah.
that about a couple other movies. So I'm starting to think, I'm starting to get worried about this movie because this could be their media push to have a huge opening weekend, knowing that it's not that good. And so they're trying to get people in opening weekend. So I hope that's not the case.
I always get worried when there's a ton of advertisement for a movie or something like that, because it's like they're pushing for you to go see it.
It almost feels like they're trying too hard.
Yeah, they're trying really hard because they want to get you in the theaters because they know that they're not going to get repeat views and everything like that. So I'm like,
we're going to be there regardless. But
yeah, you guys are.
I mean, when you start seeing like from the creator of this movie that won Picture of the Year, I'm like, that's when I get worried, because then this movie that you're about to see is not going to live on its own merit. It's going to be because of what somebody did in the past movie.
Yeah.
But I do agree with Bad Coyote Funky too. Aman Vellani is going to be probably the best part of the Marvels. She was great in Miss Marvel. She is
agreed.
Just a great little actress. She's actually writing. I don't know if you guys know this. A little fun fact. She is writing a Miss Marvel comic for Marvel right now.
What?
She has literally become her own character.
Nerd.
Yep.
She really is her own character.
That's awesome. That's who I want to see in these roles too. You know, people that are passionate about this stuff. So yeah, that just got me excited about this movie. Thank you, Bad Coyote Funky.
Yes, TG, the writers did come to agreement. The writer's strike has ended. The Screen Actors Guild strike is still going on, but hopefully that will be resolved soon. And I'm ready for the DC.
I haven't seen anything official on the writers.
Oh, yeah, they announced it.
Okay.
Yep. They made a couple
writers
of
Why wouldn't they wait? Why wouldn't they wait for the actors? Because the actors joined them. You know?
Well, the actors also they say the major hurdle is AI for video games and voices and things of that nature. So they have if they would have signed close together, I think they would have waited and announced it both together. But because there's still this sort of stumbling block for the Actors Guild, I think they just were like, we got to announce it now and keep going.
Did you guys see Fran Drescher on MSNBC?
No.
God, no.
A while ago, yeah.
So last week, Fran Drescher was on there. She's the current president of the Screen Actors Guild. And she was, answering some questions about, what they're striking for. Are they coming to any agreement? And so far, she's done a really good job about speaking to what the issues are. And she mentioned, she goes, what a lot of people don't realize is the average pay for most actors. If you are not a big name, if you're not like a Tom Cruise or one of them, she goes, they're making maybe $70,000 a year.
Wow.
I heard it was not even that. I heard it was
she
like
may have said something lower, yeah.
If you appear on a show as a character,
and then they get no residuals for
they get $5,000
streaming. Yeah,
they get $5,000 and that's it. And then they do another appearance. He said that if you do 3 appearances in a year, that's only $15,000. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, you can't survive on that.
Yeah, no, you cannot.
Especially in California. Oh God.
But the worst part about this interview, and I kind of wish I had it queued up to show you guys, but the worst part about this interview is the people who were interviewing her, the anchors on MSNBC. It's like they couldn't comprehend the idea that the union was asking for money, and they were just like, well, we don't understand. That's not enough. It's like, are you kidding?
Are you kidding me?
Really?
Do you live in the real world?
And she kind of looked at him like, are you guys being serious right now?
Yeah. You are so far removed.
and she's like, and she even had to explain like the thing that's been going around online. Okay, think about this. She goes, all of these CEOs at the very top of these companies are bringing in millions, plural millions, and you've got your actors, the people who are responsible for making these movies, a thing, making it even possible, and you're telling them, we're going to cut your salary and we're going to take copies of your image and we're going to AI image generate it into things going forward. She goes, no, that's not okay. And they're like, it isn't. Yeah. Like, who are these people? This is ridiculous.
Thank you, TG, by the way, for gifting 5 subs just now.
Oh,
Wow.
my God.
Oh my
Thank you,
gosh,
TG.
amazing.
Terrible
Thank you.
Gaming.
That is so
Go
cool.
follow him on Twitch, man. Right
Yes,
now.
Very
yes,
cool.
yes,
Do it.
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Follow him on Twitch. Follow him on YouTube. He's got 2 YouTube channels, Terrible Gaming and
Yeah,
Terrible
subscribe
Reactions. Follow him on Twitter. He's great everywhere. Thank you, TG. We do appreciate that.
TG, you're the man.
Dude, that's so generous of you to do. Let me see if I think I'm subscribed to him on here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I am subscribed to him on YouTube as well. So, yep. I got it all done.
So, gave it to Attack on Show. You've got Caleb, NySith, Don't Eat Me Cows. Oh, we haven't seen him in a while. Oh, and Laura Loopsy. That's very cool.
Very
Dude,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool,
Good
TG.
man. Good man. Tip
Oh,
of the
that
cap to you.
we live to serve. We are
That's
are giant attention whores. It's a family show.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, is Sierra in the room? Can I see her hand? Is she going to wave or something?
Wave in front of the
I
camera.
want to see my daughter's
Camera.
hand. Thank you. Hi.
Aw.
Call
Hi,
your father.
Sierra.
Jeez.
Yeah. Call
Don't
your
be
father.
shy,
He
Sierra.
loves you. Yep.
Huh? I'm the worstest? Why?
I'm the worstest.
Oh, no. I started.
No, Paul's the bestest.
I'm
Paul, how dare you not say Sabina's the worst?
I know.
Lights are going on in the background. What's going on over there?
She's like, I'm disappointed in you. I was like, what'd I do?
I'm disappointed. It's that.
Well, are we
was
got
gonna
any
say,
more
it's
thoughts
probably-
on this episode? If not,
2 hours and 13 minutes, gentlemen. That's
Yep.
man. We've had a good stream here tonight. So, what are we expecting from the finale?
goodness.
All goodness.
I do think we're going to see the Bael's Balin side quests,
I agree.
and we're just going to see Ron escaping this galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going
Yeah.
to see them follow yet because they have something. They have a greater threat that they need to stop in Peridia, and then the Thrawn stuff will pick up later. Like I said, the
Yeah.
post-credit scene. Remember Rangers of the New Republic, Herald show. It's going to be awesome. Everyone agreed. No one pumped the brakes or
No.
did anything like that.
No.
They're all like, yeah. Listen to Keith. He knows. He's like an
That show's
insider.
going to star Zeb, right?
Keith?
Just Zeb. And that'll be it.
Oh,
Keith,
give
I
me
hit
a
the
Zeb
brakes
show.
so
I'll
hard
take
that I caused a 20-car pileup.
See, Sierra, the greater threat is your mom.
Oh,
Ooh,
Wow.
oh man. Wow. Boo.
Wow.
Boo, Sierra Sage.
Just so you know, Sierra, my mother is so fat her blood type is ragu.
God damn.
She
Keith.
got a cut the other day, and
Bro.
gravy came out.
Oh,
Jeez.
we
I
love
kid.
you,
I love
Keith's
my mom.
You're
She
the
is.
best. We,
She does
we
watch these sometimes, so
apologize.
I'm gonna get an angry phone call.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are good.
I love
Good
I
sir.
love my mom, and you can too
Yeah.
for just $17.95.
Oh my God. Dave.
Wait, did she raise her prices?
$17.95?
Did she raise her prices?
Oh my god! Oh my god! I gotta go, guys.
I knew-
I'm out
I
of
knew
here.
inflation was bad, but this is getting ridiculous.
Oh
That's a little
boy!
Bob Saget joke.
Wow.
Oh boy, Bob.
That was when he
Saget.
was on Full House too.
Yeah.
So-
Oh
You
yeah.
all are the worst.
Do you-
That dude
Before-
was dirty in his
but
comedy.
I was
so,
gonna
yeah.
say before we raid somebody,
Mhm.
I'm going to try to clean up about my favorite Bob Saget joke.
Okay.
And I'll still remember we had a supplier come in, and I told this joke to him late night while we were out, and they all laughed. And I was like, the next morning, I'm thinking I shouldn't have told that joke. But basically, he said, and this is going to be the cleaner version. I'm not going to swear in it. He said, "Did you guys know that when pigeons die after they have sex? At least the one I effed did."
Oh, whoa! Oh my god!
Oh, that guy's golden. Too bad we missed him now.
Yeah, I
Oh.
miss him. The late great Bob
Oh, that
Saget.
guy's funny.
Yeah, he was.
He was completely different than his character.
Wow.
He was.
Oh,
He was very
TG,
different
come
than
on,
Danny
man. You
Tanner.
have had worse jokes than your chat. I have seen your chat. Okay.
That's a
You got
lot of
some
W's
dirty people
in
in your
that.
chat.
Wow.
Hey, that is not true. That is TG is all about the gospel and preaching, and he is
Very clean.
He is straight laced, all above board. He's an angel. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Holy as they come.
What was? I can't read it. What does it say?
what do you call an eel that loves the new
Oh.
Star Wars trilogy? A moray.
Dang.
Oh,
Are you sure you're not a
Amorial.
father there, Sierra? That is a great dad joke right there. You taught her well, Dave.
yeah, you know where she
she
came from.
Yep. Yep.
Where did Luke
Oh
go?
my
to-
gosh. This is such a dad joke. Jesus.
I love
So a
dad
guy
jokes.
with one hand walks into a secondhand store, and they said, "I don't think we have what you're looking for."
These aren't the hands you're looking for.
Doug, make it stop. All right, make it stop.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think we've about reached the end of the stream, and we are going to raid Laura Loopsy. It is her birthday stream tonight.
Oh,
So
yes,
I think that would be a
excellent.
nice little thing to
And
drop
she
in on
was
her.
gifted a
Happy
membership.
birthday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She was just
Streaming on
gifted
her
a.
birthday.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, hold the wrong places. Okay, Sarah,
All
you're
the
done.
wrong places.
I've said that one. That's
You have said that one, Dave.
yeah.
Bringing it back. She comes by it honestly.
Thanks for hanging out, Bad Coyote Funky.
Yeah,
we
Bad
definitely
Coyote
enjoyed the
Funky.
chat.
Check
You were
out
doing a
his
little
stuff, too.
rabble rousing. We appreciate it.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely
really, yeah.
follow him on Twitter,
Mhm.
or not Twitter, on tweet,
Twitch.
on Twitter and Twitch.
On Twitch. and
Definitely a good
Twitter.
time.
Dude, Paul, dude.
Sierra, don't get.
You
Don't
trying
gotta
to
work
sleep on the
tomorrow?
couch? Oh.
All right, and Keith, did you
Bro.
already do the whole do all the YouTube stuff?
I did.
Okay, excellent. Sorry, I was typing. I've got terrible focus.
We all
All right,
do.
then. In that case, thank you all for joining us. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you, Paul. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and we will see you all next Tuesday and Wednesday.
And
What about
Wednesday.
Sunday?
Oh,
Maybe Sunday. We'll
right?
see what happens.
Let's do Sunday.
You guys better stream on Sunday. I missed
I
having
have-
you guys on Sunday.
And not only will we stream this Sunday, but the Sunday after is my birthday. So we're definitely
Aw,
streaming.
yeah.
Birthday stream.
Yeah,
I'm going to fall down so many
Birthday.
cliffs that
I love it. I love it. That's great. All the
All
folks.
right, and away we go.